welcome to our review, recap, whatever you want to call it, of
the entire
weekend. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to cover here. We're going over Evolve, SmackDown. Is it Under Siege? No, right?
Under Siege, I believe.
No, that's not right. Fuck, what is it? What is it? Hang on.
Under Siege?
Is it Under Siege? Am I stupid? That doesn't sound right for some reason.
Yeah. 99% sure it was Under Siege.
See, and that's that 1% that's fucking with me. Anyway, we're going over Evolve, SmackDown, Under Siege, Worlds Collide, and Money in the Bank, so buckle the fuckle up. We have a lot of shit to cover.
And I'll tell you what, of all the things for this weekend, I think the end
was the best.
And we will get to that.
Yeah. But we have a long way to go. So we're going to try to...
a long way to go in the show. Never mind.
We're going to try to be as concise and quick as possible so we're not here for like 6 hours. So, starting off, Callie Armstrong comes out to the ring on Evolve. She says, oh yeah, I told y'all, the first ever Evolve Women's Champion, Callie Armstrong. Hey, I like the way that sounds. How about y'all? Y'all like the way that sounds? I did what I said I was going to do. Listen. Oh, she did not burp. Listen, I've been here for a year and a half, and this what I'm on. They say it only gets harder from here, but that's cool. I ain't ducking none of the chicks in the locker room. I'm ready to go out with each and every one of them, so that when I get to NXT, they know who the difference maker is. But right now, I'm at the top of this women's division, and all I want to know is, who gonna be my first competitor?
And then Zeta Steel shows up. I can't stand the whole vanity project. Anyway.
That's exactly why they're successful.
I understand that. But anyway, Callie, listen. Seriously. I just want to be the first to congratulate you for being the first Evolve Women's Champion. Guys, give it up. Because if you won't, I will. The match was a classic. It really was. But, you know what? I just realized you and I have something in common. We're both history makers. Actually, you're the first Evolve Women's Champion, okay? And these people already know it. But I'm just going to say it. I'm the first WWE ID prospect. So, from one difference maker to another, I just want to say you're lucky.
And then Nikita Lyons comes out. She says, Callie, okay, that's right, Callie. Hey, girl, congratulations. New champ. I'm Big Cat Kita, but you already knew that. But it's so good to meet you, for real. Like, I'm really honored to meet you. And I talked to Stevie Turner, and I told her that once they crown a new champ, to call me. So here I am. Nikita, how about me? Zeta, girl. You cute. You are cute. And you know I have respect for you, girl. But when it comes to gold, I am not afraid to pounce first. Callie's like, listen. Y'all both doing a lot of big talking right now, but I don't see none of y'all doing nothing to prove that y'all really want this title. And Nikita says, bet. And then they jump her ass.
Yeah, they both attack her.
And if I remember, they basically beat her up. Nikita drops Callie with a spinning heel kick. Then Natalya storms into the ring to make the save. Natalya avoids the roundhouse kick. Then hits Zeta with a thrust kick to the midsection. And nails Nikita with the discus lariat. As she goes for the sharpshooter, but Nikita pulls Zeta out of the ring. And Natalya helps Callie back on her feet, but Callie doesn't accept her help.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, tries to hold her hand out, and she's like, bitch, get away from me. So, that
was just weird.
I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, I think they said it was because Natalya was the one, like, that presented the title to her, but at the same time, what does that have to do with anything?
I know.
Come here.
But then we go backstage, we got Carly Bright is favoring her shoulder after a mysterious sneak attack that took place.
Yeah, Stevie's back there checking on her in the trainer's room. Carly says that she was attacked by someone wearing a black hoodie, but she still wants to fight. And look, I know this is, but a black hoodie that tells us so much. That's like when like every time any wrestler comes out to like do a sneak attack, they're always wearing a black hoodie. That doesn't tell us shit.
Yeah.
And I know it's on purpose, but anyway.
Yeah, it could have been anybody. But then Shawn Legacy says he's been waiting for this moment for 8 years. He's talking to Timothy Thatcher in the locker room.
Yeah.
And he's like thanking Thatcher for, helping him and making sure he's ready to go.
Yeah. And he said, and Timothy Thatcher says that Legacy is ready. It's time for Shawn to create his legacy.
Yeah.
And then Keanu Carver cuts a promo. He says, tonight means something to me, man. Those other three, they just want the glory, the prestige, the fame. Nah, that ain't me. For me, that Evolve title, that's my ticket out. And I'll be damned if I go back to the streets of DC. Y'all don't get what I had to do to get here. So when I step in that ring with them three, I'm going to beat the brakes off them boys. From the streets of DC to the Evolve Championship, I'm going to show y'all what I'm about. And then y'all going to remember the name Keanu Carver.
And then we get to our first match.
Jin Tala versus Carly Bright. And this was really good.
Yeah, well, again, here's the thing. And I get to the storyline, whatever. But going in there with an injury when it was all over the cameras and whatever, and they never really said who her attacker was that I remember.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. She got attacked by someone in a black hoodie.
But you understand what I'm saying? That never came out on who it was.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But she's had ice on her shoulder. She got her shoulder injury. Blah blah blah. What are you gonna shoot at?
The shoulder.
And she does.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a really good match. But obviously, Jin Tala's like, shit, your shoulder's hurt? Bet. And she's going after the shoulder the entire time.
Yeah,
and
doing like the arm snaps and
she managed at the end of the match. Bright hits the code breaker on her, and then she goes for a moonsault, which Talib managed to avoid. Then she makes her tap out with the Baku Naro Bind, which was this really weird, like, standing arm bar. We were both like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, it actually looked like it could have hurt.
Yeah, but I've never seen anything like it before, so it was very interesting. And I said this when the match happened. I felt like they did Jin Tala a disservice. Because I think she is good. I think she could have beaten...
But here's the thing. Okay. I know it's going to sound weird, but Jin Tala, let's just leave whatever from LFG.
Yeah.
Okay? She was not the strongest. And when I say strongest, I mean...
Just in
general. She wasn't the best.
Yeah, but I feel like...
But here's the thing. Over the course of, I guess, LFG ending and her premiering on Evolve whenever that happened, because I think they said that they filmed like 2 months in advance.
Yeah.
So,
but she's made a lot of progress.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. She's made a lot of progress.
She looked really good out there.
But again, what I'm trying to get at is she's good, but I don't know if she's, again, and I know this is the point I'm trying to get to. I don't know if she's ready for like main roster stuff.
No, absolutely. I'm not even saying she is, but I've said it with basically every single LFG superstar. They did the same thing with Jasper Troy. He fought a jobber. They did the same thing with Tyra May Steele. No offense to Ariana Grace. She was fighting a jobber. Mm-hmm. And then Jin Tala comes out, and she's facing an injured opponent in her first matchup. It just feels like they're doing all these LFG kids a disservice.
Which again, if anything, I know what you want when Bailey Humphrey finally shows up.
If they put her against a jobber, I'm gonna be so pissed.
They need to have her go punch the shit out of Jordan Grace.
Exactly. Anyway, moving on, because like I said, we have a lot to get through, so I'm gonna try to go on as fast as we can here. Wendy Chu viciously attacked Kylie Rae following the conclusion of last week's Fatal 4-Way Elimination match for the inaugural WWE Evolved Women's Championship. So, Chewy Martinez has a backstage interview with Kylie Rae. Since coming back to Evolve, Wendy Chu has stuck her nose in Kylie's business week after week. And Kylie says, Wendy might have beaten me twice, but when Kylie eliminated her from that Fatal 4-Way title match, she thought it was over. And, she hates to admit it, but Wendy Chu was the only person that makes her not so smiley. After the attack last week, Kylie is ready to get her revenge. But before they can continue on, he has to Chantel Monroe interrupts the conversation, and she hopes that Kylie is ready to quit. And then Kylie gets on Chantel's nerves, whether she's smiling or not. Then Layla Diggs and Mason Holiday apologize to Kylie. Mason says that hopefully that mirror Chantel walks around with shows a reflection of the Chantel they really know sooner or later.
And that, again, this is the only Chantel we've seen.
Yeah, which, once again, doesn't make sense to me, because usually when you're putting on a facade, you're putting on, the happy-go-lucky, nice facade, and then you flip the switch and you're killing people, backstabbing, whatever.
But we never saw this real one, and that's what kind of messes me up.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. This is the part that messes me up, because I feel like it's a story we didn't get.
I think, I'm assuming it's from maybe when Evolve was going on before.
I don't know. But even then, they should have...
Maybe. I have no idea.
But anyway, Vanity Project is hyping up Jackson Drake, saying
the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the name.
The wild card, I think.
Yeah.
They're
going to win tonight, and Vanity Project's going to be on top, and it's like...
and then we have an Idris and Nofi promo. I came back from a gruesome shoulder injury, and it hurt. It hurt for real. But what hurt me even worse was the fact that I couldn't compete in front of each and every one of y'all. But now things change. Things will be different now, because tonight I changed the entire WWE Universe's mind. Tonight I go from Idris and Nofi, the tag team wrestler, to Idris and Nofi, the singles superstar. Tonight, Idris and Nofi, your epitome of excellence. The EOE became the first ever WWE Men's Evolve champion. And then Wes Lee comes out to the ring with his...
High Rise.
Yeah, that's it, High Rise. He says, now, I can bet that none of y'all expected to see me out here in Evolve, right? Look, that's understandable, especially with the boys out here dominating completely on their own over the past couple of weeks. I haven't necessarily had a reason to, but you see, last week, I wanted to come to Evolve and get a better understanding of what it's all about. See, they call this the evolution of professional wrestling, something like that. Well, look, when I walk around and talk to the kids in the locker room, I can see it. They have big dreams, a lot of potential, and they have a lot of hope that one day they are going to become the next big thing. And then he starts giggling and chuckling. He's like, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh like that. It's not that funny. It's cute. No, it is. Hey, it's cute. It's okay. See, look, I was the same way. Once upon a time, I wanted to come into the business and make it the best that could possibly make it the best that it possibly could. I wanted to change the world, and I did. So, when I walk around the locker room, do you know what I really see? I see that they're naive, hell, borderline delusional to think they are going to steal my spot one day. No, not gonna happen. I have busted my ass, broken my back for this business, and I haven't even scratched the surface yet. So, Dusty Cup winner, 2-time tag team champion, and the greatest North American champion in history, and I'm not done yet. So, to everyone that is in the locker room right now, I want you to listen very closely. I'm the gatekeeper now. You want to make it to NXT? You're going to have to make it through me. And if you really think you have, before we continue, because he does get interrupted. But isn't he like the second person to say that? First, it was the cup guy, the fake mustache, the fake beard.
Oh yeah. Lexus King.
Yeah, Lexus King. First, he said he was the gatekeeper. Actually, he technically won his match against Shawn Legacy. Now Wes is the gate. I feel like this is just gonna be a continuous thing of like every few weeks we have a new NXT superstar come and be like, "Nah, I'm the gatekeeper. You wanna go to NXT? You gotta get past me." And it's just gonna be this repeating cycle. Anyway, Cappuccino Jones comes out along with his buddy. He says, Wes. I see what you're brewing up. I really do. Tyson and Tyreek are impressive. Your mentorship is paying off. And Wesley's like, what are you out here? Why are you out here, though? Wait, let me guess. The barista and his buddy want a rematch, huh? Well, I mean, if y'all didn't get enough last week, I'm sure the boys are down to beat y'all again. And Jones says, actually, Wes, I'm not out here looking for a rematch. I'm out here because I want a match against you. You're out here calling yourself the gatekeeper, and yeah, you've been the human highlight reel for years, and I respect that. But lately, Wes, whatever you've been sipping on, it's been tasting pretty bitter. Wes like, bitter? Nah. I've been around the block long enough to know better. So look, hold on. I'm just not some happy to be here kid walking around with a cup of coffee. Cappuccino says, hey, you can hate on me all you want, but you want to be the measuring stick? I want to see how I measure up. I feel deep down I got what it takes to get to NXT, and the best way to back that up is to go one-on-one against one of the staples of NXT. Wesley comes back, Jones, you really should have stayed behind that counter, dog. You want the match next week? You got it. And then we find out that Javon Evans will be presenting the WWE Evolve Men's Championship tonight. And Javon Evans gives Jordan Oasis his props in the NXT parking lot. Then we have a
Marcus Mathers promo.
Yeah, Marcus Mathers promo. I've been waiting a very long time to introduce myself to the WWE Universe. My name is Marcus Mathers. I've been wrestling for about 6 years now with way over 650 matches under my belt. First of all, holy shit. That's like 100 matches a year. That's insane. Proving that I'm not just Philly's finest, but I'm the finest in WWID. Speaking of WWID, this was made for men and women to use this to the best of their ability to the max. And let me tell you, nobody used WWID like Marcus Mathers did. And with the support of WWID, I've been able to travel more, get more matches, and train with the best of the best. And now I bring all that knowledge right here, right now. And WWEID prepared me for Evolve. Next week on Evolve, it's going to be Gauls battling Troy Yearwood. Lince Dorado will be on the program. Plus, Wesley takes on Cappuccino Jones. Actually, we only got 2 matches? Right? Because there was a lot of promos left. I forget. We only got 2 matches, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because, we get to the second match of the night, which is the main event. Keanu Carver versus Shawn Legacy versus Jackson Drake versus Idris Enofi in a Fatal 4 elimination match for the WWE Evolve Championship. And I just want to say, this match was amazing.
It was. It was really, really good.
My only gripe, so to say, was that I feel like they did Idris horrendously dirty. Like, he came out here, and I don't even necessarily think it was just him, but, like, he was hyped up as, like, this big returning guy. You know, the fans loved him. And then he got splatted like a fucking bug. Which I get it was Keanu Carver, but still, it felt unsanctimonious. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But the match starts off, and all 3 of the men immediately go after Keanu Carver because he's obviously the biggest, strongest, most powerful dude in there. They push him outside of the ring. They start going back and forth, and they're all showing off their skills. I mean, Jackson Drake and Shawn the Legacy are more of, brawlers, powerhouses of sorts. And Nofi has a bit of high flying ability to him. But before they can really get anything done, Keanu Carver gets back into the ring and he layways all of them. He pops up Aegis Nofi, hits him with a power slam, and Aegis Nofi's the first one out. Then Shawn Legacy and Jackson Drake team up on Keanu Carver, and the precision with which they jump this man cannot be understated.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like that. Super kick, swanton, running knee. It was incredible. It was like Bucky and Captain America versus Iron Man in Civil War. I know you haven't seen that movie, but if you get it, you get it.
I've seen it. It's been a while, but I've seen it.
Yeah, they jumped that man. Anyways, they managed to put him out. I believe Shawn Legacy hits. It's probably in here somewhere. Where is it? Drake nails Carver with the unaligning. Legacy hits with the springboard 450 splash, and then they double pin him essentially.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of cool.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense to make sure he does not get the fuck up.
I mean, it's one of the first times I've ever seen it I've seen it done, but it's definitely not a common thing.
Yeah. But yeah, they double pin him. So, Keanu Carver is out of the match. And then these two boys start going at it. And the show they put on was nothing short of phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, they were throwing kicks, punches, everything under the sun. But eventually, as we're closing on the end of the match, Legacy blocks a boot from Drake. Drake sidesteps a super kick from Legacy, and then misfires roundhouse kick and a back elbow exchange. Oh wait, no, that's not the end of the match. I'm dumb. I was not looking down nearly far enough. Right. Legacy blocks the lethal injection, and he goes for shambles, but Drake lands back on his feet, and then he hits him with a rising knee strike and connects with the unaligning to pick up the victory. After the match, Vanity Project rushes in. They're celebrating with Jackson Drake. And you know what? I'm not even mad.
I'm going to tell you this. What impressed me. He actually impressed me. I'm going to be honest. And the reason he impressed me was that they didn't come out there and interfere.
No.
It was a legit match.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I like Shawn Legacy. But he convinced me that
he could beat Shawn Legacy.
Yeah.
And I agree. Because here's the thing. I was not mad with the end of this match because I was like, damn, he just beat him. Like, I can't be mad at that. Like we said with Callie Armstrong, she might be a heel, but she comes out there and you're like, shit, she just beat him. I can't even be mad at that.
Exactly.
Didn't cheat, didn't do any underhanded tactics. You're just better.
And that's the thing. I think here's I know this might be a while, but I see this being another no quarter catch crew type thing. I think Jackson Drake is going to be the breakout of it.
I could see that, but not for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not saying, but he seems to be. He doesn't need them to back him up, obviously.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't think. Because here's the thing, we even said it. As much as we don't like them, as insufferable as they are, Vanity Project is very, very good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So I honestly see them staying together. At least for the foreseeable future.
Probably at least till they get to NXT.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will happen. Might be maybe a couple months to a year down the road, but I see them.
Oh, absolutely. They will definitely make it to NXT. But anyway, then we switch over to SmackDown in Dignity Health Arena in Bakersfield, California. Excuse me.
We start off with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Solo, Oh, no. We start off with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman all coming out of the ring. And Seth Rollins says, Bakersfield, I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth frickin' Rollins. And tomorrow night, I take everything. When I win the Money in the Bank contract, I will have absolute power. I will have total control over this entire industry. Yeah, I don't think he could hear you. Because they start chanting OTC, OTC.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, I don't think he could hear you. He's off on the island of irrelevancy where we put him after WrestleMania. Now, that absolute power, that total control, that doesn't just extend to Raw, no. That includes SmackDown as well. So we have to come here to deliver a message. Anyone who stands in our way will suffer the same fate as anyone who's already stood in our way. Sami Zayn stood in our way. He's in the dirt. CM Punk stood in our way. Poof. Gone. Roman Reigns stood in our way, and he is missing in action. Roman Reigns is not coming to save you. Roman Reigns doesn't care about you. Roman Reigns has never cared about you. But you know who has? Seth frickin' Rollins. And I will drag all of you kicking and screaming if I have to into the future, because that's what I do. It's what I do. Not just for me, not just for us, but for the entire industry. And there is nobody who can stop me.
And then Solo Sikoa walks out with Jacob Fatu, JC Mateo, and Solo's like, "You said that. If anybody gets in your way, you're gonna lay them out.
That's right.
And you said that there's nobody here to stop you.
That's right.
Well, we're standing here right now.
Is that so?
Well, Seth, by the look of it, looks like you've got yourself a little bloodline here going on. Who are you supposed to be? Right hand? Jey Uso, and he points to Jason Mateo, I believe.
No.
Or does he point to Braun?
I'm pretty sure he's Braun Breaker, yeah.
And you're supposed to be the honorary Uso, Jey Uso?
Sami Zayn.
Or Sami Zayn, yeah. And after everything you've been through, we went to war together at War Games. And you didn't call, and now all of a sudden you show up and team up with this guy? Oh, and you got yourself a wise man. Speaking of the wise man, long time no see.
And then Seth gets up in Solo's face and he says, choose your next words very carefully.
All right. Let's cut right to the chase. All I know is tomorrow night, I'm climbing that ladder. I'm grabbing that contract. And all that power and control that you talk about will be mine.
Oh, I see, Solo. This is your turf. You feel threatened. You want to come and push back. Are you threatened because Braun Breaker is the future of this industry and you're not? Are you threatened because big Bronson Reed could squish you like a bug at the snap of my fingers? And you shouldn't be threatened, man. But what you should be worried about is the fact that your own family would rather stab you in the back than have your back. What's up, Jacob? You look like you want to say something. Come on, take the mic from Solo. Are you going to let Solo talk for you?
Hey, man, shut up. All right? I see what you're trying to do. Shut your mouth. Seth, it ain't going to work.
No. Look, I'm just saying. He's a Samoan werewolf. I think we could come up with a different nickname for him, like Solo's bitch? No. Hey, in all seriousness, Solo. Took a lot of courage, took a lot of guts for you to come out here and talk to me the way you did. I gotta be honest with you. You're threatened by us. I'm threatened just a little bit by one Fatu in this ring, but it ain't you.
And Solo takes his jacket off.
Yeah. And Braun Breaker stands up for Seth. And then Jacob Fatu steps in, and it leads to this standoff in the middle of the ring. And I was so excited because I've been talking about this match. It would be so good.
Mm-hmm.
But we get cock blocked because Seth orders everyone to leave the ring. And then Jimmy Uso comes in. He attacks JC Mateo from behind. He super kicks him. And then Fatu and Mateo start bickering with each other on the outside as we go towards commercial break. And then we come back to our first match of the night. Jimmy Uso versus Jason Mateo with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at ringside. And this was a shit show.
Yeah.
Because, JC Mateo, he has the power advantage, obviously. But Solo and Jacob both try to get involved, and they end up costing JC Mateo the match because I believe Jimmy gets him with a rollover.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because Mateo knocks Fatu off the apron, and then that allows Jay to roll him up on the inside, get the win, run out, because he obviously knows he's going to get his ass jumped if he doesn't. Then we cut backstage to Zelina Vega running into Julia in the backstage area.
Well, Jimmy wins.
Didn't I say that? He got him with the roll up.
But Jimmy wins.
I said that. Anyway, asshole. Zelina Vega runs into Julia in the backstage area. Julia made her intentions very clear last week, but Zelina also has something that she wants to make perfectly clear with her. Zelina worked her ass off to get the Women's United States Champion, and if Julia wants a shot at the U.S. title, she's going to have to pry it from her lifeless body, because she's not giving this up lightly. And Zelina's like, do we have a problem? And Julia likes that Zelina has a lot of confidence. Look, Zelina, I love you. Great, you're a great champion. You're a phenomenal wrestler. However, if we've learned one simple thing these past few weeks, months, you don't fuck with NXT girls. Especially not Julia.
And Stephanie Bakir.
Yeah. Then we get our second match of oh my god, we need to bring this up. We'll bring it up. Well, I'll bring it up now, and we'll talk about it again later. Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven with the Secret Service in a Bakersfield brawl. Look, I believe it was her last 14 matches. At least 10 to 12 of them were all against.
Yeah, I've got it in the Discord.
Chelsea Green, Piper. Please. And I know we're getting it now. Thank God. Thank God for them bringing Julia to the main roster so we can get some new rivalries. But her last 14 matches have all been against Chelsea Green, Alba Fire, right?
Yeah.
And Piper Nivens. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we're getting a breath of fresh air with Julia. Thank God.
And I'm going to be honest. I like Zelina, but like you said, if Julia doesn't win it, Zelina's going to have to prove to me that she beat her.
Exactly. Like Julia does not have to prove anything to me that you can beat Zelina Vega. And that's not throwing any shade at Zelina Vega. Like I said, Zelina is a phenomenal competitor. But Julia, Stephanie, hell, even Roxanne, they're all just they're on a different level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we keep saying this, but these girls in NXT and that are coming up to the main roster
are fire.
The main roster
has to step up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. And I feel like they have been, which I'm very thankful for.
Yeah.
But this match was interesting until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've had, how many times has Zelina fought Piper Nivens? 3 or 4 times now?
Something like that.
Yep.
But I mean, it's a Bakersfield brawl, which is basically just another word for a street fight. So there's really no rules. And, actually,
But you know what? Here's the thing. This is what I found interesting. We find out exactly where it's at. Because the Secret Herbis and Chelsea kind of start interfering.
yeah.
Chelsea Green pulls Vega out of the ring. Vega hits Green, and then Green and Elba Fire roll a table into the ring.
Yeah.
Then Piper delivers the Piper driver to the floor.
Yeah, Niven rolls Vega back into the ring. Niven lays Vega flat on the table in the corner. And then Julia comes out. She attacks the Secret Hervis with a flying clothesline off the ringside barricade. Vega then powerbombs Niven through the table to pick up the victory. After the match, Julia raises Vega's hand. She then headbutts her and plants her with the Northern Lights bomb. Then she picks up the title, stands on her chest, and raises it up in the air.
And again, like I said, that unfortunately, Zelina,
is the end of your reign. And don't get me wrong, I would genuinely love to see Zelina pull this off. But she is going to have to prove it.
And when I say prove it, and I know, I'm sure that...
I'm not talking about Jey Uso versus Gunther. I'm talking...
Because I am still disappointed with that.
Yeah.
And I hope that tonight, which I already know... I already know is going to be a shit show ending, because there's a rumor return.
Oh, God. Oh. Do I even want to know?
Supposedly he's in town.
Yep.
Roman?
Nope. Goldberg. And they're saying he's going to interfere in this match.
How fucking old is he?
I think, like 50, late 50s, if I remember correctly. We looked it up once before.
Hang on. 58. And people are talking about R-Truth being old. He's like 53. Stop. Please. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody. Not a single soul.
He wants a final match, and he wants to elevate somebody.
It's not elevating them. You're fucking 58 years old.
Retire.
Please.
I agree. Here's the thing. When Goldberg was in his prime back in WCW and had the 100+ match win streak, Goldberg was a beast.
Yeah.
But
that Goldberg against Gunther,
yes,
I would love. But this is not that Goldberg.
But here's the thing: I need to find that match.
Goldberg versus Undertaker. Is that what you're talking about?
A shit show. Oh my God! It was. They were, and you got to understand, Undertaker is one of the hardest strikers in the business. But when he's like hitting, it was like, oh my God, what the fuck? It was a dream match that everybody wanted. Again, I'm gonna say this. It was a dream match that everyone wanted to see 20 years ago. But it's like The Rock and Roman Reigns. Everybody wanted to see it like 5 years ago, and then
not now.
And not now. Nobody gives a fuck now. We wanted it when The Rock could actually do something, and when Roman Reigns was actually a fairly... I was going to say a fairly decent wrestler, but I'm not meaning that he can't wrestle. But I mean that when he showed up and was actually gave a fuck.
Yeah, when he, was wrestling.
Yes.
Anyway.
But again, we're off topic.
Yeah, let's try to concise ourselves. So Zelina Vega wins via pinfall, but she gets her shit rocked. Julia's coming to take her title. Oh, excuse me.
And then we get a backstage segment with Cody talking to Jay in the locker room. And Cody's like, ask Jay, are you okay? And Jay's like, yeah, I'm good. But your ribs are hurting from Monday.
But it's nothing he can't handle. And then Jay comes in. He has an embrace with Jimmy Uso after his win. And Jimmy wants to make sure his brother is good ahead of tomorrow's main event and his title defense against Gunther this Monday. And Jay says, look, why are y'all so worried about me? Oh, the only thing I'm worried about tonight is what John Cena and Logan Paul have to say. Tomorrow is tomorrow. Yeet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have an Aleister Black promo. No, I really can't comment. Initially, I convinced myself that somebody of your standing, somebody who's so loved by the WWE Universe, using the black mask was almost respectful. And in a weird way, I still respect it. But the longer I think about it, the more I think you stole something from me. And that does not sit well with me. See, it's funny what a human mind can do. But now I want to take away all the security you had in this match. No Shinsuke Nakamura, no more relaxed rules, just you and me. And I'll go into the shadows and drag you into the light, and let's see what's left of you. But if you beat me, LA Knight, I will look you in the eyes, I will shake your hand, and I will admit defeat.
And then we get the LA Knight promo.
Let me talk to you. It's that time of the year again. Yeah, it's Money in the Bank season. And I think about it, and you do a little bit of math. Yeah, this is my third year in a row being in Money in the Bank. What's that, sir? You said third time's a charm. What you think? Third time's a charm? Yeah, but I'm not satisfied with that. I'm not happy with that because I look at 5 guys running out here. You got Penta. All right, we like him a little bit. We know he's going to do everything under the sun to try to reach up and grab that case. We got Andrade. Okay, we like him a little bit too. Another guy who's going to do every possible thing he can to get up there because, of course, he's in Money in the Bank. Everybody in the bank is going to do every single thing they could do. But these guys are going to take it to another level. But after I get to those two guys that maybe we can respect a little bit, then we got the goon side of things. Then we get to El Grande Americano Gable. Well, that was a mixed reaction. Do we like him or do we not? Dummy number 2, Solo. And the crowd goes, boo! And it's like, I feel the same way, to be honest. Look, Solo, we've done this a million times. I can drop you on your head one more time, climb the ladder, and grab that case, no problem. But then I think about dummy number 3. I think about a man that I haven't had a lot of interactions with. I think about a guy who's recently got himself a little crew. He's got a couple of guys running around with him. I'm talking about Seth frickin' Rollins. Seth's been here. He's done that.
Mm-hmm.
He's had that case. He's been the champion. As a matter of fact, he's going to want to come in tomorrow and he's going to want to burn it down. But Seth, what you got to understand is there's nothing hotter than a LA Knight with LA Knight in LA tomorrow night. Yeah! And what that means is you ain't burning a damn thing down because you're going to get burned by this man. Yeah! But before we get there, I got to think about tonight. Tonight with Aleister Black, he had a shot, and I understand. Look, this is a big deal here. Money in the Bank is a big deal. Money in the Bank can make careers. It can break careers. So I understand why your feelings got hurt at the fact that I went ahead and stole the pin from you. But my man, it's a 3-way match. I did what I had to do, and I got the job done. If you got a problem with that, if that hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. But now what you did is set yourself up to get your feelings hurt one more time. Yeah! And you will know coming into LA, coming to California, well, we're in Bakersfield tonight. He ain't going to be in LA. He's going to be sitting on the couch watching this man, showing everybody whose game this is, with everybody saying, L.A. Knight. Yeah! And then we get to the third match of the night, LA Knight versus Aleister Black.
And this was good.
This was so fucking good.
Yes.
This was good.
So good. Until it wasn't.
And you know what did make me mad is it started during the commercial. For us in America,
Yeah.
it started during the commercial, and I was just so mad. I was like, well, we literally didn't even see how it begins.
Yeah. That's usually how it is.
It was just, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, they're going back and forth.
Yeah, this was so good. They were back and forth. They were beating the hell out of each other. They were doing the chest chops.
They're kicking each other in the chest, back elbows, kicking each other in the gut, going, DDTs, counters, and, Black showing off his, is it Muay Thai?
Yeah.
Muay Thai background, the striking, the takedowns. But,
and like you said, it was good until it wasn't.
Yes, because Black goes for the Cabrera, but Knight counters the Burning Hammer, and he wisely rolls out of the ring because, I just got my shit rocked, but he can't pin me if I'm not in the ring. But, random scam number. Anyway, before we get a definitive conclusion to the match, Seth Rollins comes in, he nails Knight with a curb stomp, which forces a disqualification, and Black gets into the ring, and because he's obviously pissed, he was trying to prove a point that he could beat LA Knight, and Seth's like, hey, I don't want no smoke. But then, of course, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed come in, and they just start beating the shit out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He hits Black with a stomp. Braun Breaker spears him. Rollins dumps Black out of the ring, and then Bronson Reed does a running senton splash to LA Knight, and then Breaker spears him in half. So technically, LA Knight wins via disqualification. Which, why are they going back to that? I thought we were doing no contests. I don't understand how this works.
But then we get something really cool.
Yes.
We get Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis make an announcement that 2025, the King of the Ring tournament will begin next week.
Yep.
The tournament
will start. Go ahead.
The tournament will start with a fatal 4-way match from the men's and the women's division.
Yeah. 4 fatal 4-way matches.
4 fatal. Oh, sorry.
From there, the tournament will turn into co-branded singles competition with the semifinals. The finals will take place at WWE Night of Champions 2025 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The stakes are high this year because the winner of both tournaments gets to fight the top champion of their respective brands at SummerSlam. So this is sort of like another
Money in the Bank?
Not Money in the Bank, but another Royal Rumble, another Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what. There's a lot of people already saying, I think I got a couple on the Discord.
Truth.
Well, one is saying truth. There's some saying truth, but I don't know if I put that in there. But that would be awesome.
That's my pick.
But I'm talking about the women.
Oh, are we even going to discuss this? We don't even need to discuss this.
Nope.
Because here's the thing. Stephanie, well, I know we're not at Money in the Bank yet, but Stephanie went into Money in the Bank already having 3 matches in 20 hours.
Yeah. In less than 24 hours, she had 3 matches. Not
to mention traveling from Bakersfield to California. I don't know how far away that is, but a good...
And then I want to iterate that one of the matches was a ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So... And you know what? She's already talked about being there tonight. And you know what the thing is? I don't doubt that.
Oh, no.
Because here's the thing. And you've said it before. Can't break her bones. They're made in enanthium. Yeah. Titanium. Yep. Whatever. What is it? Vibranium. Yeah. Whatever the hell you want to call it. She's
just built different. But then we go backstage. Byron Saxton has a backstage interview with Jade Cargill. Jade says it feels great to participate in the Queen of the Ring tournament. She would have loved the opportunity to compete at Money in the Bank, but she's going to keep climbing regardless. She can't wait to tear through Queen of the Ring tournament and become the Queen of the Ring. At SummerSlam, Jade is not asking for gold. She's taking it. And, Byron asks Jade where things stand between her and Bianca Belair.
And then Charlotte Flair interrupts.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, just a friendly reminder. Either choose your friend wisely or don't have any friends at all. Jade, you need to pray. If you think you're going to win Queen of the Ring, there's only one queen in the WWE.
Mm-hmm. And then Tiffany Stratton walks by both them. She tells Charlotte and Jade good luck as she heads out to the arena. And then we have a short Legado del Fantasma vignette. And
talking about this.
They're
going to be at Worlds Collide.
Yeah. Santino Escobar has a simple plan: show the entire world who owns Lucha Libre. And then we have another backstage interview with Byron Saxton with American Made. How confident is Chad Gable going in tomorrow's AAA Mega Championship with Del Vikingo at WWE Worlds Collide? And, he says confidence is pretty high, but I got to admit, he's a little disappointed that he didn't qualify for the men's Money in the Bank match. But they found a suitable replacement, the greatest luchador of all time, El Grande Americano. Gable says that Americano is going to climb up that ladder and bring that briefcase home. As for him, he's going to go find his way into the history books when he defeats Vikingo and wins the most prestigious title in all of Lucha Libre. Andrade, yeah, sorry. Andrade and Penta join the conversation. And he says that it's going to be funny when Americano puts Andrade and Penta through a ladder. And then Nick Aldis makes a match for later on tonight. It'll be Penta and Andrade taking on the Creed brothers.
And then we get back into the ring, which you got Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. Let's call it for what it is, shall we? Last year, I didn't just become the youngest Miss Money in the Bank. I became the it girl of WWE, which is why I can see it now. Every single lady in that match is going to try to pull a Tiffy and pull someone off a ladder and then reach for the stars. I mean, we can all agree that every single woman in that match is championship material, right? But it doesn't matter because whoever does win Money in the Bank, the world will be revolving around me. So ladies, you can win the match, you can trend for one night, but I fear that no one could outdo the doer because Bakersfield, what time is it?
And then Rhea Ripley comes out. And she's like, Tiffy, I've never actually been a part of Money in the Bank before. Because the fact is, I've never had to. So I don't know what it feels like to win the contract like you do, but I do know what it feels like to be a champion, and I miss that feeling.
And then that transitions directly into our fourth match of the night. Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, Alexa Bliss versus Naomi, Roxanne Perez, and Julia in a 6-woman tag team match.
And again, this was great.
This was
Here's what I found.
What? You said
a Bliss, yes. We keep forgetting. But Stephanie and Julia start things off. They have a test of strength. Vaquer pulls her own back. I mean, we cannot overstate.
Okay, here's the thing. When you get to Stephanie and Julia, these two, if you go back and look at NXT, these two have had matches that are pure show.
Oh, absolutely.
These women have put on shows. They have been the main events. They have been, when you go back to NXT, and here's the thing. Neither one of them have been in the WWE
for even a year.
Yeah.
They're like, what, 8, 9 months?
Yeah.
10 at the most?
I think we're at 7 and 8, actually.
I think so.
if I remember right.
Well, that was a while ago, so I'd assume it's probably
But still, the point I'm making,
not
when
even
they came to the main roster, right before they came to the main roster,
7 and 8 months, respectively.
I think
Julia was
7 and Bakir was 8.
I think it was
the other way around.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Julia was 8, Stephanie was 7. They're both already on the main roster. They're both already.
And like I said, these two girls are my tops. I know it sounds so. We repeat it and we repeat it and we repeat it, but these two are going to dominate the shows.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, I know I keep saying a lot about Stephanie Bakir, but again, this is match 1.
Mm-hmm.
Match 1 of 3. And we only are discussing 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. Again,
Exactly.
she built different.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait.
here's the thing. This match was absolutely
Beautiful.
It was. We cannot sing this match's praises enough. But it all ends when Ripley. Well, I believe Naomi walks out on Perez.
yes.
Like near the end of the match, which allows Bliss to get a straight hand on Perez. Fakir delivers Eat Defeat, and Ripley connects with the Riptide to pick up the victory.
Yeah.
And then we cut backstage. Solo Sikoa is trying to calm down Jason Mateo in the backstage area. You know, so that everything will be okay if Jacob Fatu follows along with his plans. Solo says that JC worries too much. He brought Jacob to the WWE. Jacob loves Solo. One thing about Jacob, he's not that smart. All this man does is think about himself. He's literally all gas and no brains. Solo's got this under control. Let's handle business.
And the thing is, I was like, oh shit, he's behind him. But he wasn't behind him. But right as they walk off, he steps around the corner.
Yeah.
Just glares.
Mm-hmm.
And both of us, all 3 of us were like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. It came back to bite him.
And then we got all of the locker room, if I remember right.
Well, they put this out of order, because first we get the Uncle Howdy promo. He says, grief is not linear. It's not healed by time. It's a festering wound that's continually being ripped open by an echo of a presence that is no more. You don't forget. You can only accept that which cannot be changed. I've watched the tag team division, the loyalty, the trust, the brotherhood, but is that bond unbreakable? From our loss, we've become a family, a ship unshaken by the storm. But yet again, they wanted to forget about us, ignoring the sacrifice, dying to flesh to become one. We were turned, not for nostalgia, not for closure, but to rip open the wound of apathy and take what we are owed. Your brotherhood will be tested. The time for
Appendants?
He's using big fancy words, I don't know. The time for a penance has passed. Accept your condemnation. We will not be forgotten.
And then it opens up to all of the...
every tag team backstage, and they're all like, shit. We got to take... And, the Street Profits...
We're all fighting. We all want the titles.
Yeah.
But we got to unite.
Yeah, the Street Profits tell the tag division they have a far bigger problem than defending those tag team titles. They have to take out the Wyatts. They can get the smoke because the Profits are the real boogeymen in WWE. Fraxium said that they should teach the Wyatts a lesson. Motor City Machine Guns can't stand DIY. They're the veterans here, and they're not surprised that DIY is backing away from a fight.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Fraxium says that they're going to go teach them a lesson. DIY says that they're going to they're going to go challenge the Wyatts or something.
No, DIY is
Or
like
not DIY, but
Motor City Machine Guns. Like, yeah, we're the veterans.
We should go show them what it's like.
Yeah.
And DIY's like,
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. You guys go do that.
And here's the thing. This is my opinion. I think a lot of people's opinion. They don't give a fuck about the Street Profits right now. The Wyatts don't give a fuck about the Street Profits. They don't give a fuck about Fraxium. And they don't give a fuck about Murray Machine Guns. Because I think who they're gunning for is DIY. I think everybody else has gotten away.
Yes, but also they're saying what we are owed. So I definitely think they're coming after the titles.
Yeah, but I think... Here's the thing.
I think
they're
gonna...
This is something you don't know. Okay? In NXT...
Mm-hmm.
Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Candice LeRae were in a group with Dexter Lumis.
Yeah, I remember you talking about
the family, whatever they call themselves. So I think that's part of that story.
Well, like I said, I think they're going to go after DIY first, but I think they're 100% going for those titles.
Oh, yeah, I think so too, but I think they're gunning for DIY to start.
Yeah, absolutely to start. But they are going to go after those titles.
Oh, yeah. And then we get the 5th match of the night.
Penta and Andrade versus the Creed brothers with Chad Gable at ringside. And Vikingo is watching the match in the front row.
And Penta and Andrade start things off with a stereo somersault.
Mm-hmm.
And before the Bellion rings. And I mean, this just turned into...
Well, the match went
The match
fine.
was great, but I'm saying it just...
The match was actually pretty good, because it's a classic example of speed versus power.
Yeah, because the Creed brothers are pretty...
They are big, beefy boys. But at the end of the day, Penta managed to connect with the Mexican Destroyer to pick up the victory. So Penta and Andrade win via pinfall. But after the match, Seth Rollins comes out again with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Andrade takes a swipe at Rollins, but Breaker just stomps him out, and Penta is getting demolished in the corner. Breaker nails Andrade with the super spear. Reed body slams Penta, and then he hits him with a senton splash, and Seth Rollins delivers 2 curb stomps. Then Reed drags Penta into the corner and hits him with a tsunami. So they're just tearing apart all their competition.
Yeah, and...
I mean, what is that?
2 of them?
Well, no, because they also attacked LA Knight. So what? 3 out of the 5?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because there's... So, yeah, anyway.
But then we get Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Yeah, though we walk through the sold-out hellhole of Baker's bitches, we fear not the future, because, ladies and gentlemen, like it or not, we are the future. See, I don't understand why you would boo that. Seth frickin' Rollins told you, even before WrestleMania, what this industry was becoming. Seth Rollins told you what would happen at WrestleMania, and it happened. Seth Rollins told you he would get Roman Reigns out of the way, and we did. Seth Rollins told you we would take CM Punk out of my misery, and we did. Don't you understand? Everything Seth frickin' Rollins tells you becomes true. Don't you get that? Don't you understand that Seth Rollins is the vanguard of the future of this industry? That we are the vanguards of the destiny of the WWE? You can sit there and boo all you want. Tomorrow night, Seth frickin' Rollins becomes once again Mr. Money in the Bank. And then when he does, all his leisure, at his discretion, when he damn well feels like it. It'll be who, what, where, and when, because we all know the why. The why is to solidify the power that comes with the title. And Seth frickin' Rollins will then propel this entire industry into a future that is a vision all of his own. And for me, the greatest honor of my professional and personal life, when I get to stand here in this ring and say, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending.
And then Cody's music hits.
Yeah.
And Cody and Jey Uso walk down to the ring.
And then John Cena and Logan Paul come down. All right.
Cody starts it. Those two back the fuck out.
Yeah. He says, so, Bakersfield, what do you want to talk about? Talk about Money in the Bank? Talk about the Intuit Dome? Talk about main event, Jey Uso? Talk about our opponents, John Cena and his tag team partner, Logan Paul? Okay. What did he say to you, Jay, last week? It was rather aggressive. I know what he said to me. He said I tried too hard. He said that I'm desperate. He called me desperate, which I found rather bold coming from John Cena. I mean, we all see you dance your way into Kai Kanat's live stream. How do you do, fellow kids? We saw at 1 second kick a man in the nuts, the next second begging for forgiveness on X. Seeing you stand in the ring with Logan Paul in 2025, it's like seeing Michael Hayes standing next to the Hardy Boys. Let's talk about desperate. And desperate is WrestleMania 41, throwing away 20 years of goodwill so that you can have your record setting title. Jay, tomorrow is not about the World Championship. It's not about the WWE Championship. It's a showdown. What do you call that, Jay?
I call that yeet down. One time for the prime time. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Come on, Oos.
And then John Cena makes his way down to the ring. He makes Mark Nash do another ring introduction. And then Logan Paul slides into the ring and knocks out Jey Uso. Cody tries to go for the crossroads, but Cena counters with a running belt shot. Then he drops Jey with the attitude adjustment, and Paul nails Cody with the pulverizer. And then 2 frog splashes. John Cena says, take a good look. No one is coming to save you. I've been telling you this for half of a year. Your dream of what WWE is will be ruined. This is your future. I take this home. He takes that to the top. The last real champion and the moment of maker, the one of one, the inevitable future face of the WWE. Bakersfield, humble yourselves for the humblest, the future world heavyweight champion, Logan
and this
Paul.
is the point. They're both holding up the titles.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to mean something.
Yeah. And then John Cena rolls Rose back into the ring and delivers another attitude adjustment. Paul rolls Jey back into the ring and nails him with the titanium punch. And the We Want Truth chants start echoing.
And we knew this was coming. Because, again, we talked a little bit about it, that they had fired Truth, and it was all over social media.
John Cena says, you can't handle the truth. You want our truth? Our truth is right here, staring you in the face. And there's not a damn thing you or anyone who fights for you can do about it. You hypocrites chant for truth. You are all pathetic liars. This is why you're losers. Take a good look. Excuse me. Take a good look, because this is my last time in Bakersfield. And remember these words. Winners write the history books. Ladies and gentlemen, your future champion and the last real champion.
And then, or it was Against All Odds. That's what it was.
Yes.
Anyway,
because this is going on, I believe, at the same time or not.
Yeah, right about the same time. I think it started an hour later.
Yeah.
But so
this is TNA Against All Odds, which is actually a pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was. It was actually good.
But the action begins on the countdown show to Against All Odds. 6 knockout tag team action gets it started. We don't actually get the... Oh, fuck.
The Elegance brand
Oh, hang on.
versus the the Elegance brand with Ash and Heather and M by Elegance. And then Zaya Brookside, Molly Grace, and Harley Hudson. And this was actually really, really good. But of course, the concierge interferes. Like always, he pokes Zaya, I think, with like a
cane or some shit.
like it almost looks like a trident type thing.
Yeah, he pokes her on the side,
and that causes like her to. But they get pinned.
Yeah. After the match, the Inspirational make their jaw-dropping return to TNA Wrestling as they face off with the Elegance brand.
Yeah, they're like, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
We're taking those titles.
Yeah, like, you might be, elegant, but we are an inspiration.
Yep.
And then Mustafa Ali demands that Tasha Steelz stands in his corner for the match.
Well, okay, it started off with, what's his name? I can't think of his name. The one that they're...
Jason Hotch?
Yeah, Hotch.
Yeah.
It's like, Tasha, I want you in my corner. And she's like, kind of just acknowledges, like, okay. And then Ali walks in, and he's like, Tasha Steelz, tonight, you'll be in my corner.
Yeah. And then he makes his tag team partner, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, be on commentary.
Yeah. Basically, so he can have all them down there doing their normal crap.
Pretty much.
And then we have Stephanie DeLander vows that Steve Maclin's International Championship is coming to Mace Warner tonight.
Yep. And then Santino Marella speaks on his high-stakes match against NXT's Robert Stone. Whoever wins will be the official Director of Authority, and whoever loses will no longer be in TNA Wrestling.
And then Matt Cardona shows up, and he's like, well, I got news for you. I don't care about you. I don't care about Robert Stone. I have beef with WWE. I have beef with TNA.
Yeah.
I'm going to call this match 100% down the middle.
Yep. I am, a free agent. I'm the special guest referee. So then we cut to Against All Odds. Mance Warner challenges Steve Maclin for the TNA International Championship. And this was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was Macklin's best matchup.
Yeah.
But it was a slugfest more than anything. But
again, like you said, and I'm not going to go into this. And even during the match, it was like, oh my god! He has Maclin out. Maclin is laying in the ring. And Stephanie DeLander, gives him a kiss. And I'm like, and we're not talking a kiss, we're talking a type thing. And I'm like, oh my god, please stop!
It's so funny how much it annoys you.
Okay, I don't mind the kissy thing, but why is that and the whole their whole character thing? It's like it's not. It's just it annoys me so bad.
But you know what? You're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It irritates the fucking hell out of me.
It's effective then.
Oh, exactly. No, because I cringe and I don't even want to watch the matches.
It's effective because guess what? You're on here talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's effective. Whether you love it or you hate it, it's effective. Anyway, but yeah. This was just a slugfest. More like there wasn't really any, there was no high flying, there's no acrobat. They are just beating the shit out of each other.
But
basically.
Here's the thing. Again, DeLander is there for pure distraction.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I mean, she grabs Macklin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she grabs his foot a few times. She, is
Yeah.
up on the apron distracting it. Which, why? Why do you give a fuck about some random ass lady standing on the fucking ring apron?
Again, this is something you always sit there and like, they attack you. Turn the fuck around.
Yeah. Like, once again, if I'm in the middle of a match and some random ass broad, especially, like, say for example, I'm on Raw and I'm facing Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan or Raquel jump up with the ring apron. Oh hi. I'm sitting here beating Dom's ass, giving him the belt to ass, and I see Liv Morgan on the ring apron. I'm like, oh hi, and then go back to beating his ass. Like, what is she gonna do? Jump in the ring and assault me? No, that's not how that works. I mean, technically she could.
Well, the ref also that's distracting the ref, which means low blows, blah blah blah.
Guess what? That only works if you're not paying fucking attention. Because if someone tries to give you a low blow and you're paying attention, you're not gonna let it happen.
Exactly.
Unless you've already got your shit rocked. In which case, they're probably not going to be distracting anyway. Because they usually only try to do distractions when you're whooping their ass.
True.
So, if you're whooping their... Anyway, it's a whole thing. Anyway, but it doesn't matter because her distractions aren't enough because Steve Macklin is, in fact, bulletproof.
Yep. He still wins.
Yeah, he still managed to retain his title.
What?
I just thought of a really stupid gimmick. It's like, oh, you're bulletproof?
Anyway.
It's a Nerf gun. Don't worry about it.
GM Miller interviews Elijah. Asks him, how are you preparing for your match against Elias tonight?
And he's like, I looked into Trick Williams' eyes last week and I saw a man who's built on hype and not heart. He's here for himself and nobody else.
Yeah.
So,
tonight, TNA.
Yeah, tonight I will bring the TNA Championship home and he will find out why in TNA we walk this way. Yeah. He had a whole, once again, he had way better rhymes than Trick could ever dream of.
Yep.
Out here, rhyming fucking average Joe with average Joe.
Exactly.
That was, oh my god, that was a train wreck.
Oh my god, I love this. The Hardys and Leon Slater recruit the hometown man from right here in Tampa, Arizona, to be their partner. And he looks an awful lot like Tony Deaner, who was forced to leave TNA after losing to Eddie Edwards in Under Siege. This isn't Under Siege. I told you.
Yeah, what we said was against all odds.
Yeah, that's right.
We changed it.
I was right. I knew it wasn't Under Siege. I'm like, no, that wasn't before. Anyway.
But it's been a long weekend.
It has been, but yeah. Here's the thing. He gets his ass whooped. I mean, he gets a few good shots in there, but he has to immediately tag out because he gets his ass.
But
kicked.
you know what? I'm gonna say that he did pretty good.
He did. He did better than I feel like he ever has before. So
no, that was the hometown man. That wasn't Cody Deaner.
Oh yeah, just like El Grande isn't fucking Chad.
And here's the thing: everybody knew. Everybody knew. And of course, I love how it was the face guy saying, "Oh no, it's not Cody Deaner. That's the hometown man." And the heel guy was like, "Are you serious? Are you really serious? Like that's what we're going with?"
Yeah, it was a nice change of pace from
the normals that we get.
Exactly.
That just reminds me. Why the fuck is Pat so dumb? He's not even a heel commentator, but they have to have one of them look like an idiot. I don't know. Anyway,
again, like I said, this was actually pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the greatest match because the greatest match was a little bit later.
But this is a great back and forth. It's an 8-man tag team match, so there's lots of chaos. ins and out, quick tags, all this. But the match ends with Leon diving into the ring, over the ring post with the big play Slater to the floor to wipe out basically everybody else. And then he gets back into the ring, and he's going for a move off the top rope, and Moose goes to spear him. I thought he cut him in half. But, in fact, Slater rolls him up for a 3 count. So the Hardys and the hometown man defeat the System. Then we get the TNA injury report. I don't remember what happens there, but...
Yeah. But then we get the Mustafa Ali match versus Jason Hutch.
This was fucking great. Like, this was a great match.
And John Skyler. Okay.
They had a gentleman's agreement to not punch each other. No closed-fisted attacks.
Yeah, and the thing is, they honored that. But there were so many times in which you could see that John Skyler was torn.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
same thing with Tasha Steele.
You know, this is a group that they are a part of, been a part of. But Hutch hesitates to throw a punch a couple of times, but go ahead and lands chops.
Yes, I think Ali even does the same thing. Like because he reverses it because he's in the corner, and then Ali reverses it, and he goes to throw a punch, but he doesn't. I was honestly expecting him just boom, like right upside the fucking face.
Yeah, but it gets to a point to where Ali tells Tasha to trip him, interfere in the match while he's got the ref.
Yeah, he's got the ref distracted, and he's like sitting out on the ropes basically. So we've seen this plenty of time. They come up and they like grab their hair and rub their face on the ropes. Do any amount of
like,
and she walks out, if I remember correctly.
She wound up. Well, I think he.
I'm pretty sure she walks out. I don't know if it has in here, but she walks out. She's like, "No, I'm done with this shit."
And then Ali attack, or he gets Hutch right as he's pinning. He has him for a 3, but right as 2,
he pulls him back up,
and that's when Skyler is like done.
Yeah, he gets up from commentary. He runs over. He's like, "End this. You're done." And Hutch he shows some like Hutch was this close so many times to putting Ali away, but Ali puts him down with another 450 to the back, and then as they're
after he won the match, he starts attacking him again.
Well, no, he doesn't attack him, but he's like laying down, and he's telling him, get up.
Right.
And he eventually gets up. Ali holds his hand out, like offering a handshake. Jason goes to shake his hand, and Ali basically gives him and walks out. He doesn't actually do that, but that's the idea. Is he?
And then Skyler and Hutch are both like,
yeah, it's a shit show.
Yep. So I see Order 4 completely shattering. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then Gia Miller catches up with the Inspiration, who promises to inspire the Elegance brand. And Mike Santana is invited under the first-class penthouse, but he hasn't arrived to the building. And AJ Francis and Casey Navarro, they're bragging about costing Santana the TNA World Championship. They're insulting him when he shows up wielding a baseball bat.
Yeah, Casey Navarro notices it on the stream.
Yeah.
And that was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, he's like big boy behind. And then as soon as
AJ turns around in the back of like the TNA logo,
and he's like, I swear I'm not fucking with you. And then the music hits, Santana comes down, and he puts Casey Navarro through with a powerbomb through a table. But then Francis comes out and he smashed the champagne bottle over Santana's head.
That's right. Francis walks out. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
He smashed the champagne bottle over Santana's head, and then he fucking dragged. And here's my thing: just pick him up.
But yeah, he's dragging with one hand, like back to the back.
Yeah, it's like he's just being a dick at that point. Like, you can pick him up. He's like a third of your size. Anyway,
but here's the thing: this was probably my favorite match.
This
Masha Slamovich versus Li
Yang Li. Yeah, this is a great fight.
But Indy Hartwell comes down and she joins the commentary table. And this was
a fight. That's the only way to describe it.
This was absolutely beautiful. And I know the women have come so far in probably even the last year to 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They have come so far.
Oh, absolutely agreed.
And anywhere, like, these women are just killing it.
But yeah, I mean, these are two powerful strikers. There's a bit of high flying if I remember, but not much.
Xylee's a little bit, but
they're
can do a little bit.
But they are mainly, they're sort of like Rhea Ripley. They're gonna toss you around like a fucking rag doll, beat your ass.
But yeah, they're exchanging blow after blow, counter after counter. These girls are going at it.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely beautiful.
But Slamovich successfully retains with the Requiem pile driver.
Yeah. And then this, I don't know who this is. But after the match, Killer Kelly comes out at her return to TNA, and she drops a steel chain at the feet of Masha Slamovich. Yeah, and I guess they were former partners, they said.
And enemies.
Which, I said, we haven't been watching TNA. We kind of more or less started TNA when WWE.
Yeah, basically. And then backstage, a frustrated Mike Santana refuses to be treated by a doctor.
The doctors are like, you
need help. You have a fucking champagne bottle smashed over your skull.
And he pushed the doctor
and walked off. So, here's the thing. Francis, Casey, you better start praying. I look, I'm gonna say this to the camera. Y'all better start praying. I don't know who you believe in, what you believe in, if you believe in anything at all. But if you believe in a higher power, start praying.
And if you don't believe in a higher power,
maybe start.
Better find one.
Yeah, because I don't even think they can save you. Divine intervention is your only solution. And even then, I think Mike Santana might still beat your ass. So, that's just me, though. Joe Hendry returns to action for the first time since losing his TNA championship to Trick Williams, facing off with the fierce rival Frankie Kazarian. And Hendry?
This was, I don't know, this was good, but Hendry seemed beaten down to me. And I don't mean, okay. Hendry to me seemed like he was already beaten. Like, he's kind of like knocked down a peg, and I don't know if I like that.
Well, he started off like very aggressive.
Yeah, but I'm still saying, like, he felt like not giving up, but
like not even trying, like not.
Like the dog that's been whooped, but knows it's still got to fight.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's gonna sound weird, but like the dog that has been bit like 5 times, maybe a broken leg or 2, but wants to survive.
Mm-hmm. But isn't still beaten down.
Yeah,
not.
That's what he felt like to me.
Yeah, I get that, and I think that's just a matter of time before he, especially with this defeat. I feel like it's gonna. Honestly,
I think that's what it's supposed to be. It
honestly,
kind of affected him.
If I'm honest, I could maybe see a heel turn. I don't know if Joe Hendry's ever been a heel, if he'd be a good heel or not, but with the way things are going for him, it could be kind of interesting. That's just me, though. Because he loses the match. Kazarian locks in a chicken wing. Hendry manages to get to the ropes. And then Kazarian once again targets his injured leg and then pins Hendry with his feet on the ropes for the win.
And I mean, I thought it was obvious. But again, these referees sometimes.
Well, you got to figure it's storied, but yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I just want to go, hello?
And then they have a post-match interview with Gia Miller, and she's look, dude, you're a cheating bastard. What the fuck you got to say for yourself? And he's like, I'm better. I beat Joe Hendry, something that he doesn't know how to do. He basically,
yeah, I'm just rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I love this.
Robert Stone goes backstage. And he tries to bribe the special referee, Matt Cardona.
Yeah, he's sitting there talking. He's like, I got respect for you. You have respect for me. I've never done anything to you. We're cool, right?
Yeah. And I know you like money. So how about I give you some and maybe you
this envelope. And he starts off with like a 5.
Yeah.
And Robert Stone goes, every little bit counts, but then he spreads it out and you see all hundreds.
Yeah, there's hundreds, 20. They're like there's a whole smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Like it was a sizable chunk of change.
But then we get the Rascals versus the Nemeth.
And this was a pretty good match.
Yeah, you know what? Again, I'm going to say this. I was impressed with this. And the reason I was impressed with this wasn't necessarily that the Nemeth won, because I'm not a big fan of them, but they did it fair.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's always been my thing. Even if you're a heel, going back to Gunther, even if you're a heel, even if you are a complete slimeball, disgusting human being, you beat your opponent fair and square. I might hate your guts, but I can't be mad at that. You were just the better wrestler that night.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. I mean they had a few slimy tactics here and there, but like
when it came to it all down,
yeah, like there was no feet on the ropes, there was no tight pulling. Yeah. They did it legitimately. So
I mean they had normal heel tactics, I guess.
But no down
grabbing a leg type shit.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
But no downright
it didn't it progressed the match, but it didn't progress the win.
Yeah.
That kind of.
I get you. I agree.
That's how I felt anyway.
Yeah. And Eric Young has apparently been banned from the building after attacking a fan of the TNA Impact last night.
Yeah, this got really, really weird because he's backstage, he's on the door.
Yeah, and he comes in and he's like,
open the door, and he's like, "Look at you," and they're like, "What?
Like you can't be here. What the fuck are you talking? Like, go home, go get out of here."
And like, "No, it was you."
Yeah, and then Sammy Callahan shows up and he's like, "Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Look, you want to come in here, you want to say, oh, was it worth it? Look, I just went through Barbed Wire Massacre, one of the most violent, brutal matches in TNA history. Damn right it was worth it. Look, I don't like that Trick Williams is the TNA World Champion right now either, but I'm gonna do something about it."
And he's like, okay, so it wasn't you. And Sammy Callahan he said something.
Like, go do something about I don't remember exactly what he said.
Yeah, he's like, you just need to go right now. And he's like, so it was you. And it's like, I was generally,
I was so confused.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the fuck he was jabbering about.
But then we get to
Santina Marella versus Robert Stone in a match to determine the official TNA Director of Authority, and this was not even close.
The thing is, what I loved is there was so many times
where Robert, he wasn't even trying to hide it. He was blatantly cheating.
And Cardona was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was times, I think...
Like the
Well,
foot.
it started off with, Santino was, like, patting down.
Yeah, and he had the brass
And
knuckles.
he had the brass knuckles, he's like... Robert Stone's like...
And then he's like, okay, pat him down. And so, it was like...
It feels a lot like a bar of some kind.
I think it was like a mop handle or some shit.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, something like that. That's what they said anyway. And he's like, what the fuck is... I think that was more just to insult him. Like, he's gonna pull that out mid-match and just start beating Robert Stone for the sake of it. But anyway...
It was funny. And then... And again, like I said... Stone was trying. He was doing everything in his power.
Yeah. And because
and then Victoria,
she
and
steals
Tessa
the
Blanchard,
Cobra.
Well, not even that. They're like tripping him, Santino, and all this stuff. And Matt's like, enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he did not kick them out of ringside.
Probably because he got paid a few $100.
But still,
Very good.
anyway,
But
Santino starts with the Cobra thing, and he pulls the Cobra out, and Tessa runs in, grabs the Cobra, and takes off.
Yeah, takes off to like the ramp, backstage, whatever. So Tessa's left out. No, Victoria's left out there. And I mean, it was a shit show. Right, that's right.
And then
he pulls out the badge and he goes to hit.
And Cardona grabs
like,
the
no.
And again, Robert Stone's like,
I paid you. What are you doing? And then Crawford hits Morella with the axe kick, but it's not enough to keep him. That's right, because I forget. He was like in the corner yelling at him, so she comes in, she hits him with the axe kick, but it's not enough to keep him down.
Which, here's the thing. This is the part that really messed me up. They're in the corner. And you legit saw the ring, like, give and bounce. It's like the referee, as she's running out, isn't going to, like, turn around and see, what? Seriously?
Exactly.
Like, are we legit, like, taking this path? But anyway.
Yep.
Of course.
Stone delivers a low blow for a very close near fall, and then he gets up on the top rope. And this was kind of funny because Grace goes up.
No, he goes to pull in another Cobra, and he's like,
No. I'm talking. Stone goes up to the top rope.
Oh yeah.
And then Grace tries to go up to push him, like trip him up or whatever. But she was having a wardrobe malfunction, so she has to jump down like 2 times, pull her clothes back up.
Again, it got really weird because Stone was like watching what was going on, knowing that she was supposed to push, but yet he couldn't get off the rope. It
was a botch, but it kind of made it funnier. Because, like I said, she was meant to go up and push him off, which she eventually does, but it takes her like 3 times to get up to do it.
And Stone looked really confused.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure her wardrobe was malfunctioning because it was one of those strapless dresses, which I've never understood. That's just asking for a wardrobe malfunction if you're asking me, but I don't know anything about clothes. Anyway, she pushes him off. She
pushes him off.
Yeah. Then Grace hands Morella another Cobra.
It's the thing. That's what I was getting at. Morella's like,
yeah.
And he doesn't have the Cobra, and then she pulls it out of her.
Yeah, and she hands it to him, and he hits the. How does he do it? Something like that. Hits him with it. He picks up.
Do it. I can't do it no more. Something like that.
Anyway.
I used to be able to do it years ago when he was in WWE and all that.
But he hits him with the Cobra, and he wins the match to become the official Director of Authority. And then he's celebrating with an interview with Gia Miller, saying he's so happy to be here. He's going to do everything in his power to give the people the best matches they can, that they're basically the ones that make this place go round. Then the road to Slammiversary begins on Impact this Thursday. The Inspiration will be in action for the first time in 3 years. And then we get to the main event of Elijah taking on Trick Williams for the TNA
And
World.
this was good, but it wasn't great.
Exactly.
And once again, I'm not impressed with Trick Williams.
The thing that gets me is this match was doing okay. Like I said, it was great until it wasn't.
Yeah, because AJ Francis comes out. And, that's right.
He trips Elijah.
Right, that's right, because Williams swings and misses with Elijah's guitar. Then Francis hands him the title belt and he cracks Elijah with it. But he doesn't get the pinfall, so Elijah sends him face first into the exposed turnbuckle and hits him with the trick shot to retain.
I don't know what First Class is, what this story is, but
I don't. I really don't. You know what the funny thing is? I don't think there is one. And when I say that, I mean, I think AJ Francis is trying to do this to get in Trick's good graces. I wouldn't be surprised if this Tuesday he shows up with Trick, or like goes out, like Trick Williams is out there, bragging, boasting about his win. AJ Francis shows up and he's like, "Hey man, I helped you. How we're buds now?" And Trick's like, "The fuck you talking about? I don't need you," even though he very clearly does.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, then we get into
Worlds Collide, which was actually very good.
Very. But talk about something.
Oh. Well, the show kicks off with Mysterio giving a big shout out to the LA crowd. He talks about performing at the very first Worlds Collide event back in the day, and he's honored to usher in a brand new era of Lucha Libre. And they were in LA, so I'm curious as to why. I mean, I know why they were speaking in Spanish, because like a vast majority of it was spoken in Spanish, and we had no idea what was being said. I know why, because Lucha Libre, a lot of people from Mexico, especially since California, I believe, I think borders Mexico. I could be wrong. My geography is terrible. But yeah, they were mainly speaking in Spanish, so we didn't catch like a good 80 to 90% of what was being said, but we got the gist of it. And the first match of the night, the LWO versus Lince Dorado, Octagon. Oh, I'm sorry, the LWO and Lince Dorado versus Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana in a 6-man tag team match. Liv and Dominic Mysterio watching the match in the front row. And this was a phenomenal match.
It was. There were so many cool parts of this.
And one thing to note is that the referees were being very lax, because the rules of Lucha Libre are much different,
Yep.
Like, you can put someone through a table in a regular match, and that's perfectly fine, It's much more fast-paced, high-flying action, not so much worried about rules and regulations.
And I have some of these on the Discord, but I'm going to talk about some of these. There was... Mr. Iguana is great.
Mr. Iguana is a goofball.
Like, there was a time in which he put on the iguana and he was grabbing them and like, oh, the iguana bit him. It was like,
or when he was like, they were playing like hot potato with him, and then I think there was one time
he actually threw the iguana on top of one of them
for the pinfall. Yeah. And then there was,
I think it was Dorado.
I believe it was Dorado who was like just beating the shit out of the iguana, hitting him with like moonsaults, and like backflip drop. Like he was giving that iguana the business.
You gotta understand, this iguana is a puppet. If you did not watch,
it's a puppet.
It's not real, so don't like cancel us for.
It was very
goofy and fun.
Yeah, it was strange to say the least, but in an interesting, entertaining way.
But yeah,
Honestly, I don't think we can go over just how much happened in this match because
it was just really, really, really good match. I mean,
It was.
to be honest. But the thing is, Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana won.
yeah.
And then after the match, which they don't actually have on here,
No, they do. Dominic pokes fun at Octagon for being a Rey Mysterio fan, even though Rey is a deadbeat. And then he shoves Octagon. Octagon gets into a 6 pure brawl with Dominic. And then he tells Octagon that he'll see him at Money in the Bank. He's even willing to put his Intercontinental Championship on the line.
yeah, so...
And then we get a video package about the history of AAA, talking about the very first Worlds Collide back in... Let's see if...
I think it was 80-something.
Yeah, November 6th,
94.
1994 in Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena. But yeah, if I remember correctly, this, even to this day, was their highest ever... The very first one was their highest ever,
Now this one is.
Huh?
Now this one is.
Is it? I thought it was still their first one, because they had 48,000 people.
Well, okay. It might have been attendance.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, attendance-wise.
Viewership-wise,
Oh,
they almost quadrupled it.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm talking attendance-wise. Their very first one, even to this day, was their highest with 48,000. So, yeah.
But then we get Tiffany Stratton, Io Sky, and Mascarita. I'm
Mascarita Sagrada.
Again, Mexican names. I apologize.
Yeah, we are, as you can see, basic bitch white boys. We do not know how to speak.
But they're backstage, and
I took a few Duolingo classes. That's about it.
The Latin lover, the Mexican OT is in the house.
Yeah. And then Chuy Martinez has a backstage interview with Legado del Fantasma. And, they basically just say, tonight is the night to showcase family, art, and legacy. Lucha Libre can only be represented by Legado del Fantasma. Then we get our second match, Stephanie Vakir and Lola Vice versus Chick Tormenta and Dallas. And this was really good. If I remember correct, Chick Tormenta and Dallas,
they from what they said,
they're like the muscle of Lucha Libre. They don't do a lot of high flying.
Yeah, and they wrestle guys.
Yeah.
And see, that seems to be a big thing in Lucha Libre. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you want a title, a guy has it, you go for it.
Exactly.
They don't care.
Like I said, I genuinely look forward to the day, and it's not going to happen anytime soon, but I look forward to the day when in WWE there are no men's and women's titles. There are just titles, and you go and take them. But anyway,
this was actually really, again, like I said, Stephanie Vakir is a different level.
And honestly,
Lola Vice held her own too.
Yeah, and honestly, Chick Tormenta and Dallas were showing off.
Yeah, and again, like I said, Lola Vice and Stephanie are a little more high flying. I mean, Stephanie's not a lot of high flying stuff.
Yeah, she's a lot more technical.
Yeah, she's more technical. She does not even go with strengths as much as she's just gonna wear you down.
Yeah, but I feel like I said, Chick Tormenta, Dallas are they're two pretty big.
They were
big beefy girls, and using their size, using their power. Because that's interesting. Because obviously the Lucha Libre I know of is Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Penta, the high flyers, the going all around at 50 miles an hour.
But Lucha Libre still has its muscles.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
It was interesting to see. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm hoping that this. We already know we're going to get Triple Mania.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that maybe this actually becomes something that we might get on a more regular basis.
I would love it.
Because I think this is something that needs to be explored.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll do wonders for both brands, especially if they can bring in, like I said, intergender matches. I want to see him. Like, imagine, like, Jordan Grace going against Jacob Fatu. Or, like, Julia going against Finn Balor or AJ Styles.
Now, that one's a little...
Stephanie going against anyone, really.
AJ
Yeah,
Styles.
exactly.
I feel AJ Styles and her beat.
Yeah, a good back and forth, yeah. But, obviously, because Stephanie is simply built... And honestly, Lola Vice is the wild card in this match, because she is not a luchador.
Yeah, and they said that.
If I remember correctly, she knows boxing.
They said like 3 things. I don't remember what all of them were. But, yeah.
She knows various like striking martial arts. She's going to get in there and she's just going to punch in the face, basically.
And they said that she was the wild card.
Yeah, because Stephanie had both competed with and against both of these women before in Mexico.
They knew how to counter Stephanie. Stephanie knew how to counter them.
But Lola Vice
was the wild card.
Yeah.
And they made that clear, I want to get to that later. But it was so nice to have Conan in there. Because I remember Conan, okay? I know you're too young to really, remember Conan. And Corey Graves, I know you kind of talked about that, and I didn't get a chance. But they were so good with each other. They were so good.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get a backstage interview after Stephanie Bakir and Lola Vice win the match. Yeah, which again,
Stephanie hits a spinning heel kick and then the SVB to pick up the victory. After the match, Vero Rodriguez has a post-match interview with her and Vice. Vice says that she's beyond grateful for the opportunity to compete at Worlds Collide. Bakir says that she has a lot more energy to become Mrs. Money in the Bank later on tonight. And then they hug each other and we move on.
And then you get Cherry Martinez backstage. Oh, wait. Hold on. I forgot about this. You can show this now if you want.
I have no idea what you're talking about. There's a lot of stuff.
I think it's the first thing. Yeah, right there.
Ah. I guess we can just...
Vero Rodriguez, which I did not know.
The wife of Finn Balor interviews Stephanie Bakir following her victory. I didn't know that either.
So that is Finn Balor's wife, and I did not know she was even in AAA.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's permanently in there.
Yeah, I have no.
But I didn't know she was even Mexican or part Mexican, Spanish, whatever. So.
Oh, fuck you.
Are you back on us?
Yeah, I'm just trying to... Oh, I went too far, damn it. Okay.
But we get to the Cherry Martinez backstage talking to Chad Gable.
Yeah, Gable says this is like a second home to him. Now the luchadors may have an issue with him, but the Mexican people, they love it. They saw him conquer the dark arts of lucha libre. They're also embracing the greatest luchador in the history of this business, El Grande Americano. It's a big deal. It's a big day because El Grande Americano will be walking out with the Money in the Bank contract, and Gable will be leaving the Kia Forum with a brand new AAA Mega Championship.
And then we see Chavo Guerrero and the Street Profits are in the house. And then the third match.
Legata del Fantasma versus Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown in a 6-man tag team match.
And this is a good match, but I still think Psycho Clown was. I loved the tone.
Oh yeah, the match was great.
I think that was great. And this was good. I mean, I don't know if I liked. It almost seemed like Legado del Fantasma were almost the faces in that to me.
Maybe.
But it seemed off. It seemed off to me because they were like being cheered and whatever. And I don't know. Maybe it's just us. Maybe they are when they were in.
I would assume they were probably a face faction back then. Maybe. I don't know though. Like I said, no idea.
But this was a lot of high flying. Another one.
Yeah, owning Lucha Libre, and they did prove that they did it because Escobar nails Wagner with a pump knee strike and then connects with the Phantom Driver to pick up the victory. So, Legado del Fantasma wins via pinfall. Then we find out that Damian Priest and Salvia Vega are in the house. And then we get to the 4th match of the night. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans versus Rey Fenix versus Laredo Kid in a fatal 4-way match for the WWE NXT North American Championship. And let me tell you something. Javon Evans might not be a luchador, but god damn it, he could be.
Yeah, he was putting on a show. He was putting on a hell of a show.
They were all putting on a show except Ethan Page. He was just kind of there in the background.
And that's the thing. He kind of stayed as much back as he could, I think, for most of it. I mean, he had his shots. But I felt like the other 3 were just, by all means, taking the show.
Oh, absolutely, and I feel like he did that on purpose because you don't need to. You could literally not step foot in the ring the entire fight as long as you're in there for the last 3 seconds, and that's kind of what he did. But yeah, I mean, the 3 of these motherfuckers were bouncing around the ring. Javon did his signature get launched on, and then he jumps onto the bottom rope, somehow bounces back up, spins around and hits you with a suplex all in 3 seconds. You throw him and then suddenly on your back and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh crap. I'm suddenly out of breath.
Yeah, it's
but
it's
I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. There was many a times I thought everybody had it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you this. There was times I thought Laredo.
Yeah, I there were so many times I was like, fuck, Phoenix might win this, or shit. I knew that Laredo Kid wasn't gonna win it.
But I'm saying,
yeah, it would have been believable, but there was Javon was this fucking close so many times.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Alden got
oh yeah, but
again, here's your point.
Yeah, Javon actually does he? I don't think he does. He doesn't cheat, if I remember.
No,
he doesn't. He just wins. Javon Evans blocks the twisted grand from Ethan Page. He super kicks Page in the mouth. Then he hits him with a double springboard cutter. Page dumps Evans out of the ring, and then he plants Kid with the twisted grand to pick up the victory. So, like I said, Ethan, you might not like him, but he played it smart. He retained his championship, so can't be mad about it.
Exactly.
Oh, I can be mad about it. I don't like Ethan.
I don't either, but
like him either,
he won fair and square. So
yeah.
And then we get to what honestly might have. I'm not gonna say the best match, but it was pretty damn good.
But here's the thing. I think Vikingo, and they said this too, even on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, I guess, the people who have watched AAA,
mm-hmm.
you could tell Vikingo slowed it down.
Yeah.
He was legit like half speed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I kind of noticed it.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like they all had to do that because, like I said, AAA is.
Yeah, but I think the Chad Gable was a little more noticeable
Yeah.
because, and especially like on Discord, people are saying that you can really tell that Vikingo had to slow it down, and he actually botched what we were talking about. That was a big botch.
The kit is it?
The corner. We got like twisted up in the corner and couldn't get out.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
And they said that had a lot to do with like him not being able to
Go full speed.
full speed.
Yeah.
That he was having to really concentrate on backing up.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, but yeah, I do have a video, a little bit of that later, and you can see like legit like Gable and the ref were like, "What the fuck are we doing right now?" type thing.
Yeah. I like I said, we noticed that too, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" Oh, I think he just got stuck.
Yeah,
like I said, it happened.
They said it was. A lot of people were saying it was legit because he had to.
Yeah.
Back off. It wasn't that he could do like flip out of the corner. He had to kind of
Pull himself out. Yeah.
He had to almost stop to slow it down to let Gable do it, and it wound up costing him.
Yeah.
Like the effect
that was meant to have. Yeah. But still, I felt like even if he had to slow, I felt like this was a really good match.
It was, and I'm not going to say it wasn't a good match because, like I said, Vikingo and Gable, they put on a show.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were,
Now, do I believe that Gable is anywhere close to being luchador?
No.
By no means.
No.
Do I? Even as El Grande Americano, Gable is not.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so
because Vikingo drills Gable with a flying reverse hurricane, the shotgun Meteora, the 630 senton splash to pick up the victory, and then after the match, the entire AAA roster comes into the ring. They pick him up, holding them up on their shoulders, celebrating.
Yeah, and then we go to Money in the Bank,
which it was good. It was good, but the fucking last match still kills me. Even with the good ending, I loved the ending,
which we will get to.
But up until anyway,
the greatest thing to happen
since Mania. Yes, since Mania. Then again, Mania wasn't. No, I'm sorry. Since Stand and Deliver. Anyway, our first match is Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Alexa Bliss versus Naomi versus Roxanne Perez versus Julia, and the Women's Money in the Bank match.
And again, something I didn't bring up, and I do have the picture of it. With the Stephanie match at AAA, you don't have to bring it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we'll bring it up later. We'll bring it up later, but I'm gonna talk about it now. Yeah. For the picture, I forgot to bring up. There was the double Devil's Kiss.
Oh yes, with Lola. Yeah, I remember that.
Lola and Stephanie both did the Devil's Kiss, and the reason I mean to remember that is because we had the Devil's Kiss on the ladder.
Yeah, that was great
with Rhea Ripley.
It's beautiful.
And like I said, there was jokes, and I think I've got one on the Discord, but there was a bunch of people like, somebody please check on Booker. We haven't heard from Booker. Because Booker was probably having a heart attack somewhere.
Probably.
And there was nothing wrong with Booker. It was people joking like, somebody check on Booker. We haven't heard from Booker. Is he okay?
But yeah, I mean, this was a great match, genuinely.
Yeah, like I said, this match was it was so good.
It stole the show.
Yeah, it was definitely a good opener, and it probably was the best match.
It was the best match. What are you talking about?
But there were so many times, and again, this confuses me, and we've said it so many times watching these ladder matches or whatever. Like, that'll be the thing, and they're like, it's like, step up another step!
Yeah.
And they're like, really? Step up another 2 steps. But they stand there for like 5 minutes.
That is in fact a thing.
And it just irritates.
And they always take so they're like, and I get it, you're tired, you're in the middle of a match, but also at the same time, I feel like adrenaline would have kicked in at that point. Like, oh shit, the ring's clear. Maybe that's just me though. I don't know. I've never been in a ladder match. It's probably exhausting, but still.
The point is, it was good. There was so much.
Yeah, the double code red onto the ladders, the devil's kiss on the ladders, the burying Rhea Ripley under the ladders, and then
yeah, I thought that. I even said, "Ooh, she's not getting up." And these are like aluminum ladders. I mean, they're not.
Yeah, they're not heavy.
You can literally tell they were sliding off of her even then, and they're like trying to slide them to keep them on there to look like they had her buried.
Yeah.
And
I feel like steel chairs would be more effective. Just get like a whole fucking pile of steel chairs and be like.
They've done that too. They did that to Brock.
Yeah. I don't get it.
And that's how Roman kept the title at one point against Brock Lesnar. He buried him under steel chairs. That was the last man standing match. I was like, steel chairs kept Brock Lesnar. What?
I mean, to be fair, you remember when the table kept Strowman down in.
I mean, it's sometimes I question.
You know what? One of these days when I get to WWE, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna do it like intelligently. Because I remember at one point, I believe it was Ryback. I think he might have been facing Rey Mysterio, and he could not keep him down for anything. So he grabbed the steel steps and he held the steel steps down across his shoulder so he couldn't get up.
Yeah.
Do that, and then I don't know, fucking.
Either that, or there was even one. I think it was John Cena versus Big Show for a last man standing. I think I'm pretty sure it was John Cena. I know it was Big Show.
Yeah.
And he duct taped him to the bottom turnbuckle or the bottom rope. You can't get up if your legs are.
Fair fox.
So that's what kept him down.
Or just use a zip tie. I mean, that's what fucking Gunther did, and it kept Jay there while his brother was getting beaten to hell and back. So, but yeah, this was a good match, and the winner is Naomi.
And still, that was the one I didn't want to win. It was the one that I thought really just didn't have a story moving forward with the belt or with the title.
Well, here's the thing that you have to understand. Let's say Julia wins it. Now she can cash in on Zelina Vega whenever she wants. There's not a story with that. Rather than having Zelina, go through and work. I'm saying the contract isn't meant. I mean, it can be. You can just cash it in immediately. But the contract, 99% of the time, is this looming threat that's always there. I can go against whoever, whenever, wherever I want.
And maybe Zelina has a story, but I feel like her story's not done yet with the Jade Cargill and Bianca. I feel like there's still questions. And here's the thing. You can say it's over.
I feel like even if it's not, they don't need to be answered. That's my thing. At least not yet.
But here is something I would like to see. I'd like to see Jade get a title. Within a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what title it is. It could be the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title, the women's title, whatever. But I don't think she's going to get the women's title because that's going to one other person.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to bring up who, because she's winning Queen of the Ring and taking the title.
Oh yeah,
Maybe that's their path. Because
I think so.
I think that would look way better.
Yeah.
Her moving up the ranks that fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted Money in the Bank, but I think Stephanie definitely winning Queen of the Ring as the new girl on the block.
Oh, absolutely. And here's my thing. Like I said, I think Naomi won because everyone else has a path to getting a title, at least at some point down the line. Naomi doesn't really have a path. I mean, there's Queen of the Ring, sure, but that wasn't announced until actually
right
it was
before.
Yeah, right before. But up until that point, Julia was already going after a title. Stephanie had just gotten here, and she's already on a rocket ship. There's no doubt she's going to get a title very, very soon. Roxanne Perez, she's in with the Judgment Day. They're always scheming and plotting. She's already in her own storyline. I do think that would have been great to have her as Miss Money in the Bank. But
I think it's going to come down to her costing them the belts somehow,
Oh, yeah.
the tag belts. I don't know which side she's going to pick yet. Because it doesn't seem like either one of them really like her, but yet Finn Balor does.
it has to be Roxanne. I feel like anyway.
Well, no, I'm saying who is going. You mean Raquel?
Yes, Raquel. I feel like it has to be Raquel.
That's going to turn on
Liv. I
Liv.
think. Actually,
That would be
no. Liv. Because hear me out. Dominic betrayed Rhea Ripley for Liv Morgan. Now, imagine, we've already seen it a few times. She walks in on him eating her nuggets, getting the shoulder rubs, whatever.
I still love Carlito. I absolutely love it.
You gotta stop eating the nuggets, man. But hear me out. Eventually, this happens a few more times, and eventually Liv,
keep your friends closer, your enemies closer.
No, not even that. She confronts Roxanne about it, and Roxanne's like, "Why are you mad at me? You should be mad at your man. He already betrayed his last girl for you. What makes you think he wouldn't do the same thing to you?" She gets in Liv's head. Liv goes to her side with Finn, and that leaves Raquel off on her own. That leaves Dom and JC off on their own. JD. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
But Naomi winning this, I feel like, was not the only way to keep her relevant, but the best way. Everyone else has stories they're involved in, path to gold, whatever. I think if Naomi's cashing in, I think it's going to be on either Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair.
I think that would be the great part of the story. One of them would have to win the belt.
Or be in the process of winning, like in a match for...
Yeah.
Like, either they win, they lose, whatever, she comes out right during the match, right after the match, cost them the title.
So, I mean, technically, they can beat the hell out of them and then cash in.
Yeah, technically, you can, they could be out having an interview. Technically, actually, I guess not backstage. It does have to be in a ring because you need a ref.
Yeah.
But, they could be out in the ring. You could come up behind him with a steel chair, fucking crack him in the back of the skull, hit a powerbomb through a table, and then just take the title whenever the fuck you feel like.
Exactly.
I mean, it's happened.
Yeah.
But then we get
Vikingo, Iguana, Conan, Psycho Clown, Dr. Wagner Jr. are in the house. And we get a fucking waste of space, Jey Uso and Gunther video package. I'm not even bothering with that. And we get to our second match of the night, Dominic Mysterio with Liv Morgan versus Octagon Jr. for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
And this was good.
Except it wasn't.
Again, they come out there and they're like, they start off with the whole thing of Dominic being the greatest luchador
of all time, blah blah
time.
blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
I felt like Octagon, again, had to... Dominic should be better doing the high-flying stuff, and again, I feel like Octagon had to dial it back a little bit. Don't get me wrong. I think Dominic is good for WWE
Yeah.
Lucha Libre, if that makes sense.
I feel like he should be better. And
Watching these guys, Dom's not even close.
Yeah. I that's on purpose, I feel. Or at the very least, and I could be terribly wrong, but I feel like Dom purposefully doesn't... I feel like Dom might be way better than he's showing himself to be, if that makes sense. Because he is Rey Mysterio's kid. I imagine Rey Mysterio has shown him how to be a proper luchador.
But here's the thing, too, and this is something that kind of gets me. Dom is... I'm not going to say he's big, but he's bigger than, like, some of these luchadors.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like sometimes... I mean, he can do the high-flying stuff.
Yeah,
I mean... It's not as prominent as, watching some of this.
But I mean, even look at, like, Penta, Rey Fenix. They're bigger. They're about Dom's size, if not even bigger than him. I feel like Dom... And like I said, I could be terribly wrong, but I feel like Dom is probably way better than he shows himself to be.
Maybe.
And even if he's not, I feel like he could get there with just a little push. And that's why I've said over and over and over and over again, I hope within the next year or so, Rey Fenix. Rey Mysterio comes out, he's getting ready to retire. Maybe Dom comes out and interrupts him. Well, hopefully by this point, the Judgment Day will at least be disbanded and, he'll be on his redemption arc, whatever. I want to see Dominic Mysterio become the best luchador of all time. Or at least up there. Because I feel like he could be, should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if he leaves WWE for a little while. Even if he goes to Mexico and wrestles in AAA. Or he does both. I don't care. I feel like he not needs to be, could be, and for all intents and purposes should be one of the greatest of all time. But that's just me.
But anyway, Mysterio delivers the 619.
Yeah, he retains because of Liv Morgan. It's really that simple. She gets involved, trips him up, yada yada yada. And then Chad Gable tells the Creed brothers to put the fireball ladder underneath the ring so that El Grande Americano can find it during the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Oh, and tell me too.
Person detected at front door back.
It's so silly. And then we get Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. And this one genuinely surprised me.
It was a good match.
It was a good match.
And like I said, again, I don't remember really any interference.
No, there was no interference. There was no cheating until the very end.
Yeah.
Because Becky goes for... Or Valkyria drops Becky with a snap German suplex. And then Valkyria plants Becky with the Nightwing. I love how they don't actually say how it ends. But Becky gets her in a roll-up and grabs a handful of tights to score the 3 count. So she is the new Intercontinental Champion. And after the match is over,
Valkyrie starts to kind of get out of the ring, and Becky's like, "Nope, get back in here."
Yeah, we have a deal. Valkyria raises her hand, and then she goes to leave, and Becky's like, "No, all 4 corners." And you can see, like she's trying not to bust this bitch in the face, but she grabs her hand. She raises it again, yeah, you won the title, good for you. She goes to leave again. Becky's like, whoa, 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 we're not done here. And eventually she's like, fuck this. Punches her in the face, hits her with, what's her finisher? Is it the
Northern or the
Northern?
no, it's not the Northern Lights for her. Yeah, Nightwing.
Yeah, then she hits her with another Nightwing, lays her out on her ass. And you know what? I want her to come out next week and say, you know what? Becky Lynch didn't win on Saturday. I did. Because I'm the one that walked out, had a however Becky worded it, had a glass of champagne while she had to go to the hospital, yada, yada, yada. I don't see that happening. I see Becky coming out there and being an insufferable, bad word that she's been. And then we get to the fourth match of the night. Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman versus the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, Penta, LA Knight, Andrade, and El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
And again, this was good.
Yeah.
But again, this
was not the winner of this match was not as good as what happened during the match. Because Seth gets four out of the 5 guys just beat the ever living shit out of Seth as soon as the bell rings. And then what's beautiful about it is Solo is laughing up a storm. He's like, ha 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 ha, yeah, suck it, Rollins. And he turns around, and the other 4 guys are just standing there and he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was that moment of like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And then he gets his ass beat. The rest of them start going at it. And I don't actually remember there being that many ladders involved in this match.
There was.
Weapon-wise, I mean. They climbed ladders and stuff. But I felt like it was much more prominent in the women's match. Maybe that was just me, though. I don't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, the main event of this match, per se,
was Seth.
Yeah, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come down. They start clearing house. And Seth Rollins is about to climb the ladder to get the briefcase. And then Jacob Fatu, JC Mateo come down to the ring. And they start clashing.
They take out everybody.
Yeah, they manage to take out Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed.
And they clean the house of what's in the ring.
And then Jacob Fatu sets up a ladder in the middle of the ring, and he's standing there like a guard dog. As
Solo gets not about halfway up the ladder, and Solo just
Jacob turns around
and grabs his ankle.
Yeah, and
Solo's yanking. He's like,
"What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he says it so clearly. I hate you, Solo! Yanks him off the ladder, super kicks him, hits him with a pop-up Samoan drop, lays his ass out. Where are we at?
And then, if I remember right,
Fatu heads to the backstage area, then Rollins rolls another fireball ladder into the ring. He heads up the top of the ladder. Knight goes to run interference. He hits him with the lariat, but Rollins yanks Knight off the ladder. He blocks the BFT and then connects with the curb stomp, and he retrieves the briefcase to pick up the victory. Then we get news that WrestleMania 42 will indeed take place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada on Saturday, April 18th and Sunday, April 19th. So the same place that took place this year. God, I hope it's better. God, it was so fucking miserable.
But then we get the news that Nikki Bella will be at Monday Night Raw.
Yep. And then we get what I would have said was a waste of time until the very, very end. We get John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and I'm not even going to bother going over this match. It was fucking worthless. The match itself could have not existed.
Hold on. The part that I really want to get to, let me find it here.
What are we trying to find here? What are we trying to find?
Jay Spears, John Cena on the announce table. Paul does the moonsault
Through the announce
through
table.
the
Yeah.
announce table. John Cena grabs the championship. This is where I was trying to go.
Yeah.
John Cena grabs the championship and nails Rose running with the belt.
And then you see from the
The-
crowd a man,
a hooded,
yeah,
a black hooded figure.
yeah, run into the ring. He attacks.
He hits John Cena with the belt.
Yep, he hits him with the belt, and then he
Starts just beating the hell out of him.
Yep. And then he just he pulls off the mask, and then he rolls out of the ring. Rhodes connects to the crossroads to pick up the victory.
Well, hold on. When he pulls the mask off, it's the reveal.
Yeah.
Get truth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. Even at AAA, even at Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
People was
even at TNA.
yes, it was even at TNA. And during like the men's Money in the Bank match, during this match, people were still screaming, "We want truth! We want truth! We want truth!"
Exactly.
And then the guy comes bolting out of the ring or bolting out of the crowd,
Smashes Cena with the title, beats him up, and then just leaves.
and we get the reveal that it's truth. And even all the they have videos of people.
Oh yeah, people were going apeshit.
Yeah, because truth was gone.
Yep.
And we're gonna get into that a little bit.
Yeah. But like I said, Cody connects to the crossroads. He picks up the victory after the match. They hug it out. And that is it for the weekend. Now we have some stuff on Discord. We are going to try to go through very quickly.
Because we are already at 2.5.
Yeah. So
here's this is something.
Yeah.
The Miz said it's completely false. He hasn't got taken WWE off and stuff. All the rumors are completely false.
Yeah. He's still there, so he's fine. After tonight, John Cena will be down to 20 appearances for his farewell tour. And this is just a funny little video of, I think, Dragon Lee?
No, Laredo.
Yeah, Laredo beating up.
Or not Laredo, but Dorado.
Dorado, yeah. Beating up beating up the iguana. It was goofy. God broke the mold when he made her. Yeah, it's just true. Ric Flair told people exclusively he has skin cancer for the second time in 3 years. All the best of luck. All the best wishes for him.
Yeah, I like I said, I mean, I've never been a huge Ric Flair fan,
but you don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
So I hope you get better. I hope you get better soon, bud.
And this is just the announcement of the
King and Queen of the Ring tournaments are back with the finals set to take place on Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. The winners will go on to challenge their respective brand champions at SummerSlam. And red, white, and green ropes with the AAA and WWE logo in the middle. This ring looks great. Why can't we get this at our pay-per-views? Why do our rings look like absolute turds? This ring looks fucking beautiful.
I agree.
God damn it. Anyway. Jordan Gray says, I'm not saying they have BBLs. I know a natural fatty when I see one. Unfortunately, my mom and dad mix their worst Caucasian donk genetics and pass them down to me.
It's just her being one of those moments of you can say what you want, but I already know.
Yeah.
Type thing. And this is what you were wanting to get at. 11 matches.
Her last 11 matches. Piper Nivens, Alba Fire, Julia and Charlotte Flair, then Piper Niven with Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Chelsea Green. Okay, hang on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not even all of them, I don't think. So Out of her last 11 matches, 8 or more have been against the Green Regime. WWE, for the love of God, give us new stories. This is the same shit they were doing with Mi Chin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck. Yeah, this Monday on WWE Raw, Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know what that was. Devil's Kiss on the ladder to Rhea Ripley.
Again, absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins whispers something in Cody Rhodes' ear, then walks away from the ring. Something is cooking. I'm interested. That's on purpose. Like that is a story element. So I'm interested to see what that leads. R-Truth is back to WWE and will be going under the Ron Killings name going forward, his real name, at least initially. The decision to bring him back happened over the past 72 hours. If the R-Truth situation was to work, it's all good. But if not, remember they had to bring him back because of the reaction to everyone wanting Karrion Kross push to keep making noise on social media and at shows. If it's loud enough, they'll push him. And this is Kathy Kelly.
This is something I don't know if you watched. But
I
she
did.
was legit,
like tearing up. Yeah, like she was getting emotional about his return.
I think everybody was.
Nikki Bella returning this on Raw tonight.
Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, obviously a backlash from fans. Just announced, WWE Crude has just unveiled the full lineup for the latest class of the WWE NIL program, which includes Mark Henry's son, Jacob Henry, Scott Steiner's son, Brock Rockensteiner, and Titus O'Neil's son, TJ Bullard. And then next in line, I have no idea who any of these people are, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's basically like from what I've understood, it is basically like LFG, but not. It's like they're trying, kind of like training, like
yeah.
What am I trying to say? They're looking at them like type thing.
Like you're not yet. Like we're literally just now starting to train you.
Yeah,
and then maybe you'll get to LFG or Evolve or whatever.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch is now only a woman U.S. title away from becoming a true Grand Slam champion since the new titles were introduced. Fair Fox. WWE has officially confirmed WrestleMania will take place in Las Vegas.
Because as Triple H said, it's time to double down. Which I thought was... It's a gambling reference.
Oh. Anyway. I'm so damn happy to see him back. Really said June Fools. Yes, he won the match. SummerSlam match. Please, WWE. If you look, I know you're never gonna see this, but if you ever see this, this is all I want. You can ignore everything else we've ever said. You could fucking let John Cena retire with the belt. I don't give a damn. Give us this match.
No, you don't get that match.
This would be incredible.
I think it would too.
Yeah, I know it would be. It would be a hell of a match.
God damn it. Anyway. Since WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, time to push Killer Kross and give him a WrestleMania moment in his hometown. TikTok. Mr. Iguana just made a with his iguana on Lince Dorado. The guy is fucking great and will be a big part of the WWE X AAA partnership. The fans are loving him already.
And this, I think I get into this a little bit later.
Stephanie might not have won the briefcase, but now it's looking to be her winning the Queen of the Ring tournament, which I'm okay with. Absolutely. See you soon to recreate.
You need to play this.
Okay.
This is beast mode.
Well, if it wants to load anytime soon.
Jordan Grace with Naomi.
Damn. Hey,
She's
That's
slapping
okay.
her ass.
You tell me how amazing that looks. Like, Jordan
Okay.
Grace
is fine as hell anyway.
is just a beast.
Yeah. I Hate You Solo. Absolutely beautiful. Nick Khan reached out to facilitate a new WWE deal with R-Truth. Ron Killings, according to a source, the new deal came together sometime on Friday. The new deal isn't a normal active working talent deal, but it gives R-Truth the opportunity for one true final run. A number of talents spoken with noted that Ron Killings' departure from WWE was not a work. Killings ignored many of WWE's approaches during the week until Nick Khan took over and called Killings to work out a new deal. Logan Paul asked for the drone, but took too much time, and Cody Rhodes delivered a
I did
super.
this for you. It is actually the video.
This was amazing. I need to save this and just put it on loop so I can go to bed.
Okay, here's the thing. Go ahead, Tavari. What did you say? You were gonna put this on and go to sleep to this
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah, this is my new sleep music.
Enough.
Oh, what? Okay, there we go. I was gonna say I need it from the first person perspective. Hell yeah. We don't get this Uso splash afterwards. Oh well.
I think by that time the drone was already dead.
No, because I remember seeing it in the because that's when the drone went. Anyway.
Yep.
The truth is, you guys wanted truth. It's always our job, everybody up here, everybody over here, Triple H, Nick Khan, it's always our job to give you what you want, so thank you guys for letting us know. Cody Rhodes. Reminder that John Cena is currently advertised for Raw this Monday in Phoenix, Arizona. Ugh.
So after tonight, we were down to 19.
Mm-hmm. Becky Lynch says Rox can't handle the Becky sucks chance and had to leave ringside. Who's...
Her daughter.
Oh, okay. That sucks.
I mean, here's the thing. I understand that.
Yeah.
But yet, if you're going to play a heel...
I mean...
here's the thing. And I'm not trying to be an ass. But if you're going to be a heel, you already know what's coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
if there's something
That's
she's
just a
not going to
given.
like, then maybe you ought to have her in the trailer or in the bus, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think it's just a matter of, like, it's probably over, especially as a little kid. She's like, what, 3, 4, maybe?
Something like that.
So, yeah, you know what? That's fair.
I understand it. I'm not trying to be a butthole about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My prediction: Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez will attack Nikki Bella, which leads to an eventual reunion of the Bella twins. That will be one of the matches for Evolution 2.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Bella Twins come back and take the titles.
That's what I see happening. For real.
And I had to put this. I had to put this just because of the sheer funniness of it.
Is this Photoshop?
Yes.
This is really well done.
Oh, hell. That would be something else. If he came back like that. Oh,
Dave
shit.
Meltzer believe ads will soon be on WWE wrestlers. I expect ads on ring gear now. Seriously, that's not a joke. That's where this is going. There's no limit to it. If there's a blank space on screen, TKO wants to monetize it.
I thought this was great. The picture alone speaks volumes. Roman Reigns with dude wipes.
Sad thing is, I can see it.
And I'm not talking butt wipes. Let's just think of it that way. All the stuff they talk about with dude wipes, to wipe your butt, all that stuff, to have Roman with it was actually really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob Fatu does not have an Instagram. Do not.
I want to bring this up because we talk about this quite a bit whenever we do see stuff like this.
Yeah.
I just want to bring this up. That, Jacob has come out and said, I do not have an Instagram.
Yeah, it's not him. Don't do that. Alexa Bliss talks about her plans after Money in the Bank and her thoughts on the current women's division in an interview with Complex Sports. R2 speaks on the impact of the We Want Truth movement. I think we'll watch these after. If you guys want to watch these, you can join our Discord or find them yourselves. Normally I'd pull these up, but we've already been going for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
R-Truth, everyone wants you back, but I don't. Good for you. Nobody fucking asked.
Nobody cares about you anyway, Logan Paul.
For the first
You can
time
fall straight
since
to the earth.
1988/89, WrestleMania will be held in the same venue in city 2 years in a row. WrestleMania 41 and 42, Allegation Stadium, Las Vegas.
And here's the rundown for tonight.
Jey Uso versus Gunther, undisputed champion John Cena, Nikki Bella returns, Mr. Money in the Bank Seth Rollins, King and Queen of the Ring tournament begins.
I'm
This is
trying
a pretty-
to say, do you see? I got a funny feeling that he's going to cash in tonight.
No, it's too soon. I think
There's a lot of people talking that he is, but
Because
I
he's
think-
wanting that title.
I think it's going to wind up being.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Seth Rollins has a plan. It's going to be dramatic. It's probably going to be when none of us are expecting it. Well, I say none of us are expecting
I don't know, because he's wanting that title that Jay's got, though, too.
He can get it whenever he wants it. He has an entire year to take it.
Person detected at front door back.
Cats.
Yeah. He can hold on to that Money in the Bank contract until next year.
True, but I mean, heck, I see him being a little
I think he's going to win.
asshole that he is, and waiting until
I don't see him cashing in tonight.
No, I think he's
I
going to
think
wait.
he's going to wait a little bit. If he didn't cash in last night, I don't see him cashing
Yeah, I feel like last night would have been the best opportunity, especially after R-Truth blindsided John Cena.
in. Yeah.
He could have taken Cena's title.
yeah,
But
exactly. But I don't know.
R-Truth specifically requested the name change to his real name, Ron Killings, as a part of his agreement to return to WWE, so that when he does end up leaving, that name will have been established on WWE TV and he can keep using it. Ron Killings did ask for the name change. That's fair. R-Truth's surprise return last night at Money in the Bank has garnered over 45 million plus views within the first 24 hours across all of WWE social media platforms. Yeah, you remember how what's the fucking name?
The Rock,
No,
Logan Paul.
the douchebag that helped Trick.
Casey or AJ Francis.
Yeah, AJ Francis. They were bragging about, oh, we have 10 million views. Shut the fuck up. Anyway. God, please, no. God, please, no.
Exactly, because
No.
I don't want to see it.
He's fucking almost 60 years old. Stop. He's not a wrestler anymore.
No,
This isn't,
20 years ago,
yeah.
I'd have been all for
of
it.
course, but not now. That's
I
redundant.
like this.
I'm back because of y'all. Absolutely. She deserves so much credit for working 3 matches in 24 hours. Although she didn't win the briefcase, there was
Yes.
more opportunities. Absolutely. 3 matches. I want you to think about this.
Again, I agree with you 100%. Think about this for more than a minute. How many wrestlers, at least advertise, they might do it, indie wrestlers, whatever.
Yeah, like house shows, whatever. Down.
But how many times they advertise and bring it up on TV? 3 matches in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I want you to.
And again, what did we show like last week? Like 24 matches,
Like
in-
27 matches within the past few months.
Yeah,
Yep,
like-
exactly.
She is the workhorse of WWE right now.
and like I said, they've got rocket strapped her. I know they've got a plan to get her to the top.
I'm gonna disagree. They didn't strap rockets to her. She built those fucking rockets herself.
Again,
Anyway, I don't know what this is in reference to.
go ahead. She's entering the Queen of the Ring.
Oh,
I just need you to realize this. Could you imagine not only the U.S. champion, but you can't take the Queen title away from her.
Exactly.
She will always be, at least until next year, the Queen of the Ring.
Yep. Sorry, Charlotte Flair, you're done.
No, this is Chelsea.
Oh,
Think about that. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. But you would never shut her up.
No, you would
No,
not.
you would not.
I posted that twice. Like I said, sometimes I don't realize. No, I posted that because of that.
We all got worked. Our truth is back in WWE, and he says no work, and that. Yeah, I agree with. Yeah. Anyway, 19 days until night of fuck. It's that soon. That's like not even 3 weeks. 33 days until Saturday night's main event. 34 days until Evolution. I would expect a few stories to begin tonight for these shows. Absolutely. King Killer.
I want this. I don't think it's going to happen, but this would be nice.
This would be very nice. I definitely think this would be a way to get him into the spotlight, even if he doesn't win it. Have him going, through the first Fatal 4-Way, through the semifinals.
You know what? I want. You want to talk about a match for King of the Ring? Who I'd like to see Cross go against?
Aleister Black. Who?
Gunther.
Oh,
Fair fucks.
I think he could take.
This is rumored.
This is not even rumored. I think it's just their like speculations.
Yeah.
Io versus Ripley, world title. I feel like we've seen that too many times already, and Io's beaten her.
And I'm going to disagree. I don't want that match there.
I don't either.
And the reason I say I don't want that match is because I still say Io only has one opponent.
Oh yeah, JC versus Mariah, the NXT title. I can see that. Becky versus Lyra versus Bayley for the Intercontinental title. That I can see. But once again, I don't know if Bayley's coming back anytime soon.
Rumors she's coming back.
Well, the only reason I say that is because I know she was saying she wanted to go and explore different options. So I don't know.
But no, there's major talks coming back.
Liv and Raquel versus the Bella Twins for the tag titles. That I can see. Tiffy versus Alexa with the Naomi cash-in. I don't know how Alexa would get there, but maybe. What?
The little box over there. You gotta watch what you say.
Oh, right. Anyway. Jade versus Charlotte, that I see. Julia versus Jordan?
So they're saying Jordan's already going to be up. And I don't know. Here's the thing. I want Jordan to go up. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think Jordan at least needs to be champ in NXT.
Yeah, I agree.
Or some kind of champion. I don't care if it's the North American. I don't care if it's the NXT women's title.
Absolutely. The Secret Hervers versus Trish, Lita, and Mickey. That's just complete nonsense. I don't know what that is. And then some
Trish Stratus, Lita, and Mickey James versus the Secret Hervers. Basically, old school versus new school.
Yeah,
I see that.
But this would only be here
for pure nostalgia.
Yeah, like I don't see this happening. And even if it did, I don't think it would be good. And then just some
we already know the battle royal's happening.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
For what? Just for bragging rights, or
I don't know. They said they were going to have a battle royal. I don't know if they officially know.
Interesting. There were high marks given to Corey Graves behind the scenes in WWE for his work as the lead announcer for Worlds Collide yesterday after he called the show alongside Conan.
This is what I wanted to bring up. They were like, there's a lot on this. This is just that Corey killed it.
Oh yeah, he did great.
And I'm hoping that maybe this is something that
elevates him.
Yeah, maybe they'll realize that he's not what was it? He's not. How did he word it?
Not famous enough to do your own job. Yeah. Jacob Fatu is now babyface. No, he's not. No, he's not.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think he's the face?
I don't think he should be a face. I think if anyone.
Okay, here's the thing, and it gets into this a little bit later. I think I got this on there too.
But just know that Gunther ain't. God, no, stop. Nobody wants to see Goldberg against Gunther. Nobody, not a soul. And if you do, you're stupid. Anyway. Dave Meltzer praised Corey Graves following WWE Worlds Collide. He did a great job and probably was the only announcer on the WWE staff who could have pulled that one off. Yeah?
This is that.
What is this?
No, not that one.
I don't know. It said no human moves like this. I don't know what it is, so I was curious and I clicked on it.
I don't even know what you clicked on. Oh! Yeah, I want to show you this one too. This was last night, or when he...
oh, is that El Grande? Oh my...
Yes.
God damn! Meow. I feel like he jumped a little bit too early, but that's...
Hey, you still landed it.
Oh, fuck yeah. But that is still not... Maybe it's just the angle. Because I know the angle he hit Carlito was, like, right there, and you could see him. But, that's fucking nasty. Anyway.
This is the botch.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you can legit see that they were, like, really confused.
If it'll load anytime soon.
Like, look at the ref and look at
He's like, wait, what the fuck?
And the ref just kind of like,
yeah.
Oh! And like he goes like, fuck, shit.
You know what? It happens to the best of us. But honestly, here's the thing about if it's a botch like this, totally fine. I feel like it's more fun. It didn't hurt anybody. No one got hurt. It was just funny. Go with it.
But it was that moment, and I love the ref and Gable. Gable kind of just looks at the ref, and the ref's like,
yeah, Gable goes into a move, and he's like, wait a minute, what the, wait, what
and he kind of looks at the ref, and the ref's like,
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's fucking great. Anyway. Worlds Collide has shattered records and garnered over 4 million viewers in the first 24 hours. Huge success, absolutely. WWE Champion Ron the Truth Killings. R-Truth saves WWE by winning the WWE Championship during Cena's final match. Please.
and I did this because of you. I found this, and I was like, yes. I need to bring this up for Tafari because you have said that. Could you imagine the reaction if Truth beat him at that Saturday night's main event that is his last match, and Truth challenges him and beats him, and Truth is the one to
save wrestling, and then he retires with the...
I would rather Truth retired with it.
Yeah, but
exactly.
But you know what?
On the stuff, didn't we look? Truth has never won the world title.
No, I don't think he's ever even. He's only ever won the Hardcore Championship, Tag Team Championships,
and the 24/7.
Yeah, he's never won the U.S., the Intercontinental, the World Title. So yes. Stephanie Verkeer reflects on her 3 matches in under 24 hours. I want to see what she has to say. SmackDown, Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank. Incredible victories and unforgettable experiences. 3 matches in 24 hours, and I'm still bursting with energy, although my body is definitely still feeling those ladders. The love and support you give me is truly priceless. I loved spending time with all of you today. See you tomorrow on Raw. She's like, yeah, I'm still good to go. Let's keep the great.
And this is what I'm saying. Stephanie is just different.
Mm-hmm.
She's built way different.
Show ends with Rollins winning the world title tomorrow. No, yeah, absolutely not. I don't see it. I don't see it happening tonight. If it does, I'd be very surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's not what I'd expect. I'd expect him to drag it out a bit longer. Because here's the thing. Something that we learned about Rollins during his time with, what was it, the Authority, I think? Wasn't that their name? After he betrayed the Shield, the Authority?
Mm-hmm.
He is an architect. He is a visionary. He's phenomenal at playing mind games with people. I don't think it's going to be as simple as going down there, attacking Jey Uso, attacking Gunther, whoever, and taking the title. Whenever he decides to do it, it's going to be a spectacle.
And I don't think he's going to do it on a Raw.
No, I think it's going to be on a pay. It's going to be on a pay-per-view because it's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be a show of power and dominance.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen enough. Let him go undefeated at WrestleMania for 30 years. I don't know about that, but okay. John Cena is the only wrestler in 2025 who has competed at every PLE so far. Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Backlash, Saturday Night Main Event, Money in the Bank.
Here's the thing. The reason I posted this wasn't because I wanted to brag about him. It was, look at, Roman.
Yeah. We might not like John Cena, but at least he shows the fuck up.
Exactly.
It might not be every single week, but he still shows the fuck up. Julie wants to challenge Zelina and defeat her for the Women's United States Championship. Absolutely. Jacob did not turn face last night. Solo did. I don't think either of them are faces. I don't think either of them should be faces. I think Solo needs to stay a heel, at least for now. If he wants to become a babyface, go for it.
Here's the thing. I think Solo stays heel. The reason I say Jacob becomes the face is because he is way more over than Solo.
I don't think he needs to be a face, though. I think he needs to play that middle card. Just like Tiffy was doing before they made her into a fucking...
Because, who do they chant when Solo even comes down to the ring with JC Mateo and Jacob? They chant Fatu, Fatu.
Absolutely.
Fatu, Fatu.
But I still don't think he needs to be a babyface. A face? Maybe, but I still see him leaning more towards that middle card. He still needs to be, the Samoan werewolf, this unpredictable, chainable, unstoppable force of nature. He doesn't need to come out there and be like, oh, thank you guys so much. You guys got me here, blah, blah, blah. No. That's not Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is going to come in there. He's going to dog walk your ass, coast to coast, post to post, and he's going to walk out still with his title.
That's it, isn't it?
Yes, it is actually. I think if they make him a babyface, they are making a mistake. Oh, sorry. We just got back and we did not see any of this. I hate you, Solo. It's crazy that Stephanie Vakir fought 3 times in 70. I think you're already gone. I think I'm very sad. I didn't see them because we were on Discord. We need to start bringing up Twitch.
Yeah.
Apologies for that, Zenite NS. I feel like we've heard that name.
Yeah.
before.
I think they're already on our stuff.
But yeah, it was actually 3 times in less than 24 hours, like 20 hours. Girls built and a plane ride. I don't know how. I don't know how far away California and Bakersfield are, but anyway.
Here's the thing. We're at 3 hours.
So we're gonna call it.
Yeah. We are.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Yes. So If you guys have made it this far in the stream, go ahead and give us a follow so you can get notified when we go live. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know what you know, or
Let us know what
you can see.
think.
You can see we've been doing this for 3 hours. Let us know what you think in the comment section. If you want to chat with us, join us on Discord. If you want to support us, press that red button in the About Me section. But aside from that, I'm Telfari.
I'm CK.
And I'm Knight Rider. Good night. Have a good
See
day.
ya.
I think I pressed the wrong button. Hang on.